heckin' speediest horn. The speediest of horns. Thank you so much, Shifty Blue, for the horn. Hi, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Hello. Right, and I want to make sure, did I unmute the right mic? Yes, I think so. I'm gonna double check. Because truth be told, right, it is the right mic. Okay. Funny story. Apparently, at some point, I've been unmuting the wrong mic, and it's been my headset mic. Not that I've noticed, and not that anyone else I think has noticed. But apparently that's been a thing that's been happening. Yay. Whoop whoop. It's because I called them all Mike. That's my bad. I called them all the same name, so really I can't blame anyone but myself there for that one. But I've tried setting it up a little differently now so that it's a little easier for me to work out what is where. Oh dear. Fastest horn in the West. And shout out in the West. Sorry. Short's changing you there. You're right. Oh dear, right. I'm moving some stuff around first thing. We're going to be doing more fire today. Things that have happened. We now have an actual thing, so it doesn't just say in white text on the screen. Also, I got the number wrong yesterday. Yesterday I said 14 days. Yesterday was 13 days, and today it's 12. I count bad. Sorry. I know how many days it is. I was looking at it, I literally had to take the calendar out and be like 1, 2, 3, 4, but we got it. It's 12 days, because I was including the day of today, and that's not how you do it. No. Because otherwise what will happen is, when it's tomorrow, when it's the time to say that it's tomorrow, I'll be like, 2 days! And I don't want to, no. That's no good. So I fixed it. Second of all, my hay fever, my eyes are so unhappy. My eyes are so itchy. I want to scratch them. I'm not going to. But literally all I can feel is my eye. Heck! Whoa! Jesus Christ. Heckin' 7 months. 12 days ago Craftmas. Oh my god. Heckin' Craftmas? Jesus. It is 12 days until Craftmas. My god. Oh, 7 months. Jesus Christ. It's been a while. I always forget with each of the mods how long they've been around. I didn't realize you've been here this long. Oh my god. I thought you were around 4 months. Not 7. Oh, thank you so much. Jeez. Also, no, hay fever. Are you not someone who struggles with hay fever? I don't know. I feel like the last 3 days, it just suddenly went BAM! Hay fever. Also, Robert, I hope you're having a good day. You've been a lot longer. Oh, that's fair. Oh my god. Heck. It's been a long time. Then again, it also doesn't really feel like a year, so it's probably just my bad concept of time. The year flies by when you stay inside. Oh dear. I hope you're having a good day, Robert. I've terrible hay fever. Shifty Blue has, though luckily this isn't your season. I have spring and autumn. I don't know what it is. I think autumn is something to do with moss or mushrooms. It's gotta be. But yeah, so I get the autumn gets me and something in the spring gets me. I think it's grass. I think I have grass hay fever, which is a bit of an annoying one to have since you can't really escape grass over here. Like, where am I gonna go? There's grass everywhere. But it's whenever like somebody mows their lawn, I'm like, oh, it smells amazing. My eyes are gonna fall out. Or like they're so itchy. Oh dear. Oh no, Grobbit. I am sorry to hear that. Apologies. I hope things get better over the weekend for you. Shoot. I'm okay. I've got a bit of the hay fever. My eyes itch all the time. I've eased up on the makeup. I'll probably continue doing that for the next few weeks while things are a bit Oh, Bo! Bo, Jesus Christ, 7 months. I wish you lovely Easter days. Oh, heck. Thank you. You too. And to you. Oh, have lovely days. Shoot, that's like this weekend, isn't it? God, everything's over my head. Oh, thank you so much. Heck, it's 7 months. Jesus Christ. That's a long time. Bo! I'll try and wink back, but I can kind of do it. I can do it, but I have to do the mouth thing, which I think takes away from the wink. Someone who can do a really good wink is McDoodle. If you get McDoodle to do the wink, they literally look like the emoji, because they can wink without moving the other side of their face. I don't know how they do it. It's like it's a ooh, it's kind of a terrifying wink, but it's very cool. Me, however, it's like, yeah, there you go, a wink. Oh god, like that. Oh. Then again, I kind of look like I'm winking sometimes when I smile, because one side of my face will smile more than the other. You can take that as a wink. Every time that I'm smiling, just a wink. Oh. Oh dear. We'll say, some positive things that have happened. One, we did a March highlights video. I'm gonna try and do that going forward, because I've kind of been juggling whether or not so this year I said I wanted to do more videos from the streams, because we stream so much, and I'm like, sometimes stuff happens here that's kind of okay, that I like, right? Kind of. But there's no way I can edit every stream, right? There's just no way. There's too many streams and I'm not good at editing. So there's no way I can do that. So what we did last month, I was like taking highlights from the streams, downloading those so that Bob didn't have a destroyed moment, and I turned those into clips like for March, and that was quite fun. I liked that. That was easier. I did focus on the sewing ones rather than the gaming ones, so there's no gaming ones in it, but yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. I think I might try and do that again each month, just so that we have like a little, this is what we did in the sewings, because otherwise we do a lot of sewing. We do like I mean, if each stream is, I think our average stream time is about 4 hours, and we do about 18 to 19 streams a month, right? But not all of them are sewing, so 4 of them won't be sewing. Oh god, so if I say 18, about 14, whatever 14 times 4 is, right? Which is 56. 56 hours of sewing a month, right? Which is quite a bit. It's quite a bit. So that's why it'd be a bit difficult to edit it down, to be honest. So it's nice just to take highlights and be like, here's some bits we did. Oh, God. Mac, I hope you're having a good day. Hello. I think grass pollen affects me. It gets bad in the summer, though the biggest struggle is trying to convince the chemist I still need hay fever medication. It's like, listen, look at my eyes. I get as well, I don't know if anyone else ever, so I get the ones that you can kind of see quite easily, which are the eczema ones under here, which I don't have right now, but I did have last year when I started streaming. I had like the little diamonds of eczema under here, which you can see on stream when they pop up. I don't have right now. I've been heckin' moisturizing. But what I also sometimes get is, because I do itch my eyes, I try not to, but I do, I get little bloodshot bits on the insides of my eyes, and it can sort of make me look cross-eyed because I'll be looking straight at you, and I'll have the darks of my eyes and the little bloodshot bits. I get that a little bit. It's not too bad, but that's always fun. I love, oh, hay fever. Mwah. Oh, thank you, Shifty Blue. You say hay fever in the UK, in Germany we say hay sniff. Wait, really? I don't know. So if that's not true, I'm gonna get tricked, but that's amazing. Hey sniff. Oh my god. That's, oh. Thing is, I don't really get too sniffy. Sniffy is not the issue. I get like a little sniffy, but it's not really my main issue. My main issue is the rest of my face. Oh, so Mobstruder, I hope you're having a good day. We're just talking about hay fever and stuff that is happening. Also, as far as the thing here, the anniversary stream, we actually are going to be doing two things. Two things is happening. So on the anniversary stream, we're going to be doing, well, I'm not going to necessarily tell you exactly what we're doing on the stream, but we're going to be doing a really, really long craft session. We're going to be talking a little bit about what we've done over the year, show a few of the stuff we've made, because there'll be people that weren't here at the very beginning. So just, you know, show a few things we made, talk a bit about the year, and also craft some stuff. So it's going to be quite a long crafting stream, crafting, chatting appreciation kind of stream on the actual anniversary stream itself. And then the day after is when we're going to be doing the speed run. So day after or day before, I'm going to have to check on that one. But I think it's probably going to be the day after at the moment. So it's going to be on the anniversary, which is not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after. That'll be crafty. Day after, speedrun. Yes, that's the plan at the moment. The only reason that would change is if anything suddenly comes up, but that's the plan. Originally it was going to be the day before that we did the speedrun, but nope, not anymore. I don't think so. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that should be pretty good. I think it should be pretty fun. I have some stuff that I'd like to do. Time to go. Bye bye. Bye bye, Bo. Take care of yourself. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Yes, yes. And yeah, it won't be crafting the cosplay though, because I think I'd like this one just to be like not like I really enjoy doing this, but probably not on the anniversary stream because it's a bit of a separate stream. And also because, let's be honest, I'm probably going to be pretty distracted. And so it's probably not the best stream to be doing that. Probably best to be doing something completely separate. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention, that I haven't mentioned on this stream, and that I should mention, and that I should also get the date up for, so that I know exactly when it is. This is a bit in the future. But I did get confirmed for it, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know so you're aware. On Monday the 3rd of May. So that's like a month away. We're doing another Ren Fair stream. Yeah. We're doing... I had a thought. I'll hold that thought and I'll write it down somewhere because otherwise I'll forget it. We're doing a Ren Fair stream, which to anyone who doesn't know or wasn't here the first time we did a Ren Fair stream, there's a lot of streamers that take part in this. Basically, if I've never been to a Renaissance fair, but I've been to a lot of fairs or fetes, as what we called them, that seem to be basically the same as Renaissance fairs. It's just we went to a heckin' small village. I was in a small village growing up, and our fairs were basically Renaissance fairs. It's just they weren't called Renaissance fairs. That's just what a small village, like a small UK village fair is like. But anyway, and yeah, it's basically like a lot of people doing crafts that you'd often see at a Renaissance fair. And or things similar, like maybe playing a game dressed as someone from a Renaissance fair, doing something similar, and yeah, and everyone will be raiding into another person who is also doing something from the Renaissance fair. So it's like going from stool to stool to stool to stool to stool. So yeah, and if you don't want to, if you get raided into someone and you're like, oh, you know, this is cool, but it's not quite what I wanted, there'll probably be somebody else doing something from the Renaissance fair at the same time, so you can actually go to a different stall, so you can kind of peruse the fair a bit. And that'll be happening from Friday to Tuesday, I believe. So it's actually a bit bigger than last year. I need to make a note of something very quickly. I'm so sorry. You know when you have thoughts and you're like, my brain won't hold on to this. Won't retain. Will not retain. There we go. Okay, note made. I'll remember that. But yeah, so that's happening on the 3rd of May. And I think the plan that we're going to be doing on that, it's a little bit different from last time. I really want to make, so I had a little think about it and I was like, right, I think a lot of people are going to be doing very mature crafts, similar to last time where there's a lot of, not there's anything, by the way, I love what people make. Oh, I know, the Renaissance Fair. I think they're amazing. But, it's a lot of like you see really, really beautiful things being made, really, really stunning stuff, and I thought I'd make something that was a little bit more, I suppose, not necessarily for younger people, because I like it too, and I am an adult who likes this, but would also be a little bit more like, if you brought a younger person to the Renaissance Fair, it would also be appropriate for them. So I'm gonna make slimes. I'm going to make slime plushies. And that's what we're going to be making at our Renaissance Fair slot. Yeah, I think that'd be cute. And they're nice and simple as well. So hopefully if somebody at home was like, oh, you know, maybe they're still stuck at home and they want to make something, shouldn't be too difficult nor expensive, they could probably make them at home too. So yeah, and make a home craft you could probably do, but also I means I get some plushies too. And slimes will not be too difficult to make. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making some slimes for the Renaissance Fair. Basically, we're going to overtake the Renaissance Fair with slimes. Smurf, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. We're just talking about a few things that are coming up. I hope you're having the goodest of days. Yeah, I got a few exciting things. Spread out a little bit, but that's kind of good. I know last time when we did the Renaissance Fair, we had like 3 big events happening like in a row, and it was like, oh my god. This time they're a bit more spread out, which is nice. Yes. So we have on the 14th of April, that's our big anniversary stream. That's when we'll be doing a bit of appreciation, doing some crafting, just talking about what's happened over the last year, being chill, and yeah, just talking a lot. And then the 15th of April, that's the speed run day. That is going to be a really long stream, so we're going to be starting that quite early. I'll put all of this, by the way, up on the Discord, so if anyone is curious about any of these dates or misses it, I'll put them up on the Discord, but I just thought I'd pop them on the stream first. So yeah, 15th of April, that's going to be the... I can't tell you when that's going to end, by the way, the one on the 15th, but we're going to start it early because we're assuming it could be at least like 10 to 13 hours, this stream. So yeah, the one on the 15th, that is the speed run. So 14th is anniversary, 15th is speed run, and then the one on the 3rd of April, no, 3rd of May even, excuse me, 3rd of April's tomorrow, 3rd of May, that's the Renaissance Fair, and yeah, that should be pretty good. I believe the one, I will just quickly check that, but we are actually starting a little bit early on the Renaissance Fair comparatively to our normal streams, kind of similar to when we did it last time. It's because we want to fit into a good time slot for the event organisers, so we're just starting a little earlier than usual because we're in the UK slot. It would be a little difficult for anyone over in America to fill the slots a bit earlier because they'd have to start at like 3 in the morning, so we're doing a slightly earlier slot just to help fill in some of the space. Yeah. Just wake up, actually, about to lurk and sleep a bit probably. Oh, bless you, I hope you get some good Z's. 9 or 10 a.m. is there, isn't it? It is! Just coming up to 11 a.m. Yes, but you are very close, very close. Right, let's get on with some crafts today. I think that's basically everything I wanted to say for this morning. Oh, and that there's a March highlights, if you're interested in highlights. Yeah, we have March highlights up on the YouTube channel. I am going to now try and do that monthly, as best I can. It will predominantly be sewing highlights. But yeah, if you're interested in sewing highlights, that will be on the YouTube channel monthly, but I don't imagine too much else will be going up on there right now, just because I'm very slow at editing, and that's about as much as I can handle. Oh, I forgot to look at the time after the hour. I feel it. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, have a good lurk, take care. Oh, was that? Also, I will be going back to work, which is a good thing. I'm very happy about that. I think I got very lucky there. I know a lot of people have been left in very unfortunate situations over the last year, so I know I'm very fortunate to be going back to work. And starting tomorrow, I'll be doing 1 day back, and then hopefully at some point going back up to 2 days a week, depending on when they need me to come back to 2 days a week. But it does mean we won't be doing weekend shifts anymore. Not weekend shifts, weekend streams anymore. Yes, but that's okay. We'll still be doing our 4 streams a week. It's just that they won't end up being on weekends. And I think for most people that won't be too much of a change because the majority of our streams are kind of during the week anyway. But yeah, just a heads up. That one's not too big of a news impact. just a lot. Yesterday was a busy afternoon. Oh dear. Oh, Cha, how's it going? I hope you're having a good morning. We had all of the news, but I will pop it up in the Discord, I think, because it's quite a lot of dates, and I think yeah. Oh dear. Oh, another thing, my tea is arriving in the post today. Now that one's probably not as important to anyone other than me, but I'm very excited to see my tea. I ordered some tea that was from the tea advent calendar that we did back in December, right? And it was the I want to say the Go-Go-Goer. And no, it wasn't that one. No, it was the sticky date. The sticky date. And I couldn't get it in T2 because they don't sell it on T2 anymore. So I had to get it through a different website. At least not in the UK, they don't sell it through T2. Oh dear. Oh, Ben Smith, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. How are you? Glad your work is starting up again soon. Yeah, we've been quite lucky. I mean, I feel very lucky, obviously, to be going back myself as well, because, of course, even within businesses, I know people, you know, it's been different for everyone. But yeah, I'm definitely lucky. Tea, I know, right? What tea? So it's sticky date is what it is, and it's basically like an English breakfast tea, but it's got like, I don't even like dates that much, honestly. But it's got like a date sort of taste to it, but it's not like a very strong date specifically taste. It just tasted like a little bit spiced and a little bit sweet. So it was almost like, I like chai a lot and I like English breakfast tea, and it was almost like a really good mix of them. Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And but I couldn't find it on T2. So I found it on another website. I think it was Amazon, and they're still selling it there. So I ordered it through the post, and then the post lost it. And so I had to wait for them to be able to give me a refund for it because they lost it in the post. But now I've ordered it again. Thank you for the horn. Hi, Amories, how's it going? Oh my god. Oh, and I love teas. Oh, right, I need to do some shout outs. Heck. Right, let me get on this really quickly. We will be on this. Right, first of all, we have Ben Smith, who is a heckin' musician, very, very talented, but also has like the most warm energy when you enter the stream. Like, you'll pop in and it's like very, very energetic, really, really lovely music, but also a really nice warm energy. You'll love it there. If you like music, which I think 99% of you do, you'll like it there. So definitely pop by and check that out. We also have Hot Armories, who, by the way, how is your costume coming along? The last time I saw it, you were combining the two pieces. I think was it combining two pieces? I think it was the front piece and the piece of the back. I hope it was going well. Sorry, I'm not very good. I don't know as much about metalwork, but I hope that it's going well. Speaking of which, Hot is a very, very talented makers and crafter. I don't see too many people doing like this sort of craft, especially with cosplay that Hut does. But oh, what happened? Oh, Hut, I'm sorry. Links, it's the links. It's because we've had people spamming them in the past. I'm sorry. Dear. But I hope that it's going well. I can permit you if you like. What was it that you were posting? We just need to know the website if that's alright. Ah, dear. Sounds decent. We've been having lots of yogi teas. Gone through nearly 6 boxes of throat comfort in the live. Honestly, not surprised. Who's going last what? Heck yeah. Instagram. That's fine. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds and I'll send you a permit. It does take a couple minutes to show up on stream. Oh, that's permit. Permit. The other thing is it means I have to spell it. You'll get permitted by both bots, but it does work. And then the other person that we have to shout out because they won't do themselves is Shifty Bluke, who is our resident world builder, who creates worlds like in literally pretty much every game they're playing at the moment. Like, you put them in Skyrim, I can create a world out of that. It's already a world, but they'll create a world out of it. They also do a lot of D&D stuff. They've been making maps in D&D. And yeah, well, they got the chill vibes in the world building. If that sounds like your chill vibes, check out Shifty Blue. We have a range of peoples in here today. I will say I won't be able to click the link, that's the other thing, I'm so sorry. Anyone else can though, and they can tell me how amazing it looks, because I'm sure it looks amazing. I won't be able to click it, unfortunately. But I think I might have seen it on Instagram anyway. If it's the picture that I think it is, I probably have already seen it. I can't click it, because my laptop will explode. There are 2 reasons links are a bit of a rubbish in this chat. I can never see them anyway. But I guess everyone else can, which is probably the most important bit. But, yeah. And second of all, we get spammed. Sorry to add bras trim. Ah, nice. Heck yeah. Shifty Blue, I think, might be doing a bit of, well, might be doing a bit of a lurk. Otherwise, they'd get angry at me for shouting them out. You know, as you do. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. Right. We are at the moment. Maybe we could show. Who fell off scissors? Right. My desk space at the moment is taking a bit of a beating from what we're doing. We're currently making, I'll see if I show you, fire with thread. So we're doing scenes from The Little Match Girl. So this is like, again, sorry, my camera's very close because of what we're about to do. But scenes from The Little Match Girl, we're sort of sewing fire around the border at the moment. It takes a lot of going over the same areas over and over again, but it's really relaxing, honestly. I don't know, there's something about this sort of process, especially with the simpler bits, that I really don't mind doing, because it is just the same thing over and over again, and it's not too difficult. Yeah, sorry, we have it in this mode because it's the most comfortable mode to be in, where you can kind of actually see, and I don't have to worry about too much about getting in the way of the camera. It's been a bit of a difficulty to get you to actually see very much of what goes on when we do this. Right, move that from under my elbow. Also vaguely panicking recently because I need to sort something out for 1K followers. I'm doing a giveaway and I don't know of what yet. Ooh. You could. Okay, you go. I guess you go 2 ways. You could do like a meme giveaway, like a meme-ish giveaway, or you could do something very, very serious. Because of course you could make something lovely, or you could do something very, very silly. Could you make like a mini replica of the armor that you're making right now, like a teeny, teeny, tiny one, like doll-sized version? Oh my god, that would probably be really difficult actually, but oh, that'd be funny. Be like, now, do you like what I'm making today? Well, how about you win a teeny tiny version? What would you do with it? Well, honestly, I'd probably put it on one of my anime figurines, where like I'd have like one of my Madoka figurines, but in armor. Oh, dearie me. I was thinking about engraved bracelets. See, now that's a really stunning idea. This is why I don't do armor making. Oh dear. So this is the kind of process of building up the thread. You can kind of see how easy it is, and because we keep our hands always on the hoop, they're never in the danger zone. So we use the the needle to basically draw, like needles of biro, and we're using the hoops to move our paper. And our paper is fabric. So it's really nice and easy. It's a bit more complicated when you're doing like people, for instance, or you're using a zigzag stitch to get the texture built up. But with things like this, the fire, where it's very, very like organic, it's really not too bad, honestly. I might get a bigger hoop, truth be told, when we get closer on the inside. The only reason I'm using such a small hoop right now is because we're so close to the outside of the fabric. Yeah, it's easy. a little bit built up there, a little bit built up there. A little bit built up there. Then we want to start doing some bits that drift around the outside. So we want to get some... Oh. Did we run out of bobbin? Yeah, we did. I thought we might have. That felt like a running out of bobbin. Ah, dear. You said that, but I'm talking to a friend about making a model for one of his minis. Oh, really? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be such a funny project. But I bet it'd look amazing, though. Oh. I am ordering jewelry maker's tools. Oh, are you? I use my jewelry makers, like all of these little, like, these for sewing a lot because they're great for pulling needles out of really thick thread. I also do use them somewhat for jewelry making if I have to use it for a costume, but like they're great for pulling like needles out of really thick fabric. You're very close. I always wish you the best of luck. I don't know why I'm getting these people to follow me. I'm a terrible streamer. Well, no, because you're not. First of all, you're wrong, and second of all. You've got like a lot of really cool stuff going on. You're making a lot of really fun stuff. Like, of course people are going to want to come see that. Oh, Isadore, I'm glad you explained. I was asking Char just to start to explain what you were doing. Oh! Yeah, so it's kind of like, the way that I explain it, and I literally do this every time, it's like, if you have a sheet of paper, and you got a biro in your mouth, and then you're literally just moving the sheet of paper. And this is how you draw. And if you could imagine drawing a biro drawing like that, then you could transfer it to this. It's just you have to move the sheet of paper rather than move your hand. It's a bit weird and it takes a minute of getting used to, but like you get used to it very quickly. The bigger the hoop, the more difficult it is. With a bigger hoop, you know, your hands are further away from the project, if that makes sense. A smaller hoop, it's a bit easier. Come back here, Bobbin. So I'm probably not going to get the Aries folded up. Neither am I. But good luck. I wish you the very best of luck. I've kind of already told everyone here that I'm not going to get done for the cosplay competition, but I will still enter a competition with this cosplay. Also, who done it? Zay! Sorry, this thread is near the end of its thingy, and because it's 1,000 meters, it won't stay on here when I'm doing the bobbin. It's like, no. I'm gonna finish it, but I'm not gonna try and rush it before the end of April. Yeah, see, I'm the same as you then, in that, like, I'm gonna finish it for something, but maybe not this cosplay competition. Oh, it's gone around the bottom, that's why. I'm like, what's happening here? Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Sorry, doing the bobbin at the moment with this little thread on 1,000 meter is really difficult on this machine. It hates it. It's definitely best to get it right rather than get it rushed. Yeah, and like, I don't know, I love having a cosplay that I'm really proud of. It's not so important for me to have a costume that's ready for a specific competition because there are so many competitions. Of course, it would have been lovely to have it finished for this particular competition. It would have, but like, there'll be others. Oh, stop doing that, will ya? Will ya? Manually making the bobbin thread is the bane of my life, truthfully. Sorry, this is like painful. You're also ready to see Comic-Con when it's back on. Heck yeah! You can see the pain here. This happens every time. That's why I'd only recommend getting 1,000s if you're going to use 1,000 consistently. For this reason. It's awful. Not using them, don't get them, they're not worth it, it's pain. Look at all this pain. Stop. Stop. You're a nightmare. Why are you like this? God. Get back on there. Right. None of this nonsense. Stop it. None of this nonsense. Thread like a good bobbin. Stop. I hate it, I hate it. Oh, have a good shower! Burp! Oh, damn, so many people need to meet up with the heck yeah! Also, CSI, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome. This is like my 17-year-old sewing machine. It just kind of runs. Yeah, there's positives and negatives to having an old sewing machine for sure. Like, the fact that it can probably get through 1,000, well, some of them can, some of them can't, but see, it might be able to get through 1,000 meter thread, some Gutermann, that'd be great. Without it having it time, you know what, we'll take it there, that's pretty much full. It's, the first parts of it are fine, it's just when it gets to the ragtag ends, it struggles, like the last bits where it's all like, close and not happy to the century bit. Doesn't like it. Yeah, this is a thing where it's like, the other thing is if you already have a sewing machine that runs, like, you probably don't need a new one. It's only if you have a sewing machine that it, like I've said before, like I replaced this sewing machine because it cost more to fix than it did to replace. And at that point, why are you bothering? Oh dear. Because it's only going to get more expensive with time. You know, the parts don't magically become cheaper, unfortunately. So, yeah. But other than that, if you already have a machine that runs, like, you probably don't need a new one. Unless it's like a feature you really want, like this. Like this. Let's see if I can show you on main cam. Like this. This is a feature I did really want. It's the thing that controls the speed of my sewing. Because I have days where I have very, very twitchy foot, and because my speed is controlled by the foot, that's a really useful mechanism for me. It means that if I'm having a really bad day with my foot, I don't have to worry about my foot twitching and then basically the speed of it getting thrown off, especially with all of the embroidery stitches. So that's really useful for me, but that's not going to be a useful feature for everyone. But things like that are really useful. I know a lot of old machines don't necessarily have features like that, but that's more specific, isn't it? Like, not everyone's going to need that. I guess that's one thing that new machines are very, very good for. Sewing machines as a whole have not changed ridiculously, though. Oh yeah, there we go. Get some nice flames coming out the side. Kind of runs, mine runs off 3,000 meter. Oh, 3,000 meter bobbins. Oh. See, I can put larger on here, but it doesn't... Well, first of all, there's no point 99% of the time. The thread isn't a good enough quality that I can buy near me. You can get good quality 3,000 meter. You absolutely can. But not near me. Not near me for any reasonable price. I'd have to find, like, somewhere that did it. And it's not that I can find. But, that's okay. I guess because I tend to buy them in shops, and I have not found one. Oh, so Potato! I hope you're having a good day! Oh my god! Oh, and Jelly, I hope you're having a good day! Oh, Potato! I hope you're having a good day! Every time. Every time. Right. I'm gonna stop the red there, because I'm probably gonna go into darker colours at the end. Right, where else is red? Or do I want to go into orange? I probably want to go on to orange at this point. Yeah, because we've got like a nice little red wave going on here. Yeah, nice little red wave. It's really thick. It's like £10. Bonded nylon eBay. think there's a positive and negative to cheap thread, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, you can sew with it and it probably won't cause any issues. It's a bit difficult for me to get into the top part of my machine, which is where it might lint. So cheaper thread can cause some issues in there. And I think I'm gonna hold off in case it causes me to have to fix it more. I don't want to cause any issues with that. Only because I have like mild things with the fact that caused a lot of issues with my old machine, that I used a lot of cheap thread in it. And it's not that everyone would ever have that issue, right? That's not the case. But I did on my old machine. And because I'm one of those people that had that issue, I'm just so hyper, like, it makes me very nervous specifically. It doesn't mean that I'm now more prone to it by any means, but I'm definitely more nervous about it than your average person, because my last machine would have been a very expensive fix. And I, you know, it's clean, it's fit, you know, service, yeah, it's just. But also, I did get that machine when I was like, you know, pretty young, and I did use a lot of cheap threads on it, I think, because of that, right? But now you get good stuff. I teased you about putting Poundland threads in you, but I wouldn't. Because I want you to run for a long time. Oh! Did you see they added a new Final Fantasy movie? I didn't! Also, Slims, how's it going? I haven't seen that, no. Oh, heck. Oh, heck. That being said, I thought they were going to play, like, the song that goes on with the football then. That being said, I will say, is this bad? I haven't really enjoyed the Final Fantasy movies. I don't know, something about it. I tried watching them and I just really didn't, I don't know, they didn't mesh with me. I think I just enjoy Final Fantasies more with the game, as the games. I don't know why. It's like I should like them because they're so story-based, right? But something about them, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Ah, okay, my sewing machine has the thread pretty much entirely external, so yeah, you're probably in a good position then that if it does start to lint, you can literally just blow it and it will just go whew. Whereas mine is completely covered. So if mine lints, it gets into a place I can't clean. And it just becomes this really thick, solid stuff. And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I would be interested what it was about. It looked awesome. It did? I wonder, is it just me? I don't know. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think, which was the ones that I watched? I did watch them a while ago, to be fair, like quite a while ago, but I just didn't gel with it. It did like Spirits Within. You didn't saw it in the theatre. I can't. So is it if it's just out? If it is, oh no, it's on Netflix. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say if it's just out, then I probably won't be able to see it because I can't see things in movie theatres. But if it's on Netflix, then I could watch it. Huh. I don't know what it is. I'm hesitant, right? I'm hesitant with these ones because because I haven't liked any of them. I kind of just gave up. Not on Final Fantasy as a whole, because of course I do like Final Fantasy, but just on any other media of Final Fantasy, that I would only really probably enjoy the games. And not all of the games. Some of the games. Which is fine, because you know what, they all range so much. I don't think I have to like all of the games. I'm also going to turn this around. I'm going to try and get it so that you can see, but there's a lot of fabric on this side, so let's just take a moment to sort that out, huh? Yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be that I can sew the most if I sew it from this angle, so let's get it from the angle that I can sew the most. There we go. Oh, nice. A bit of an awkward angle, but I think I can do it. I would really like one on this side too. Get that nice and filled in. Let's go over the red a little bit. Get it nice and blended. So it is sort of, we've brought the red down quite a bit so that we could then go over it in the orange and sort of blend the orange and the red together by just sewing over the top of them with the other colours. Now we need to go and fill in the orange part. Usually I find Final Fantasy movies a bit incoherent. Yes, you really need to play the game correspondent to fully understand them. But there are times, like, I've played the games to go along with them, and I don't know. Like, it gave me maybe a little nostalgia for the game, but I think that's kind of, I don't know, for me that's not enough to enjoy it, if that makes sense. I think that's kind of what they're aiming for sometimes, and that's not enough for me to enjoy something. But again, like, that's just my opinion, right? It's... You don't gotta agree. I'm not a movie critic, in fact I barely watch movies, so... so that's it, all blended. And we got Cerberus and Magic right at the start. I'm so excited to feel like an uber nerd. Nah, we like Final Fantasy here. I mean, I do at least. It's good. Also... some of us like different things, but I think, I don't know. I was actually talking about this yesterday, right? Because I called myself a geek. And someone said, "You're not a geek," and I was like, "But am I not though?" Because when you think about the amount of time that I put into cosplay, like consistently, like I really do be committed to this one thing. I'm pretty sure I'm a geek, right? Like, is that not what a geek is? Like, you really like something that, and you really commit yourself to it. And it is a hobby, but I really like it. And so, because this isn't my job, it's just my hobby. But I really commit to it hard. So I'm pretty sure I'm a geek. I'm pretty sure I'm a big old geek. Oh dear. I'm not sure, I might have to look up what the definition of geek is, right? Maybe that's not what a geek is. But I thought that was what it was. Geek definition. Oh no, apparently it's an unfashionable social net person. Well, you know what? That's not terrible either. I might also be that. I thought it was someone who was like really interested in one thing. Ah dear. But I could also be, I'm also reasonably unfashionable and also reasonably socially inept. When it's involved in fantasy, yeah, and nerds and geeks, here we are. Yeah, I'd argue that I am. I don't know. I mean, I don't think as well that it's particularly unusual, even if it's television. If you're really invested in a show in television and you know everything about that show, you're probably a geek about that show. You probably are, right? And it's like not a bad thing to be passionate about it. Like, it might rub a couple people the wrong way, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You can't be friends with everyone, right? I think you're a geek. Funny though, in the past being called a nerd a geek was an insult. These days a compliment. I think again, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. So, you know, which is fine, because not everyone's gonna like the same things. But I think, for me more, it's pretty cool if somebody has something they can actually talk about with passion. You know, it's to even if it is you know, you might not think of it as being like, oh, this can't be something that I'm passionate about. It doesn't matter if it's a television show or like a video game. You know, if you go talk about it with passion, you're a geek about it. That's fine. I think that's fine. It doesn't have to be like where you're physically skilled in it or anything like that. I don't know. Oh, I'm a jock too though. I play sports and breakdance. Oh, sick. Sick. It's like the other thing. You can have multiple interests. That's all right. You can like more than one thing. That's okay. Oh dear. But yeah, I don't know. I think having something that you enjoy, especially, it's not easy to be fair though. I don't know, having the time to find something that you can be geeky about, like really put enough time to really find like something that you really enjoy, because that's the other thing is like, you might really want to enjoy something, but if it isn't clicking, you don't always have the time. I'm lucky. I found sewing at like 7 and I was like, well, that's gonna be my thing. That's it. Sorry everyone. Sorry all of these other hobbies. I found my thing. This is it. So I got lucky. But then I've kind of always been that sort of person, I think. You know, once I found my thing, that's my thing. But yeah, it's not easy to find it. Especially not at the moment where you're stuck inside. If you want to be an outdoor thing, that's difficult. Oh. Oh yeah. It's a good job that I didn't want my hobby to be maybe something to do with words. I would have been in trouble. Oh, the other jelly's gone this morning. Shh, I wasn't mentioning it, but so far unpredictable, we seem to be safe. I hope you're having a good day. We're doing more fire today. More fire. Ah dear. We're just talking about being geeks. Being geeks because, well, or also like the definition of geek, I suppose, kind of. Oh, because Google's saying the definition of geek is an unfashionable, socially inept person. Or also a performer at a carnival or circus whose show consists of bizarre or grotesque acts. Which I didn't know that one, but apparently that's another definition of geek, which I wasn't aware of. But it does say that is a definition of geek, which I wasn't aware that was a definition of geek. But you know, sure. But I kind of always thought of the geek as someone who just had a really strong single-minded interest. That would maybe not be considered, I guess. It's like you'd have to go out of your way to learn, right? It wouldn't be something that would necessarily be taught to you. You'd have to go out of your way to learn it, and that's what made you a geek about it, right? Because you wouldn't necessarily... Well, no, but that's not necessarily true, though, because I see, like, you know, you'd have your English geeks. People that really, really loved literature. Again, I don't mean it in a rude way. I think that's really cool, people that can do that. But it's just someone who's really, really passionate about that subject. They're a geek about it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Here's the thing. The definition of shifting happens to a lot of words. Yeah. But then I guess, yeah, like when I was younger, it definitely was used more as an insult. But even then, I guess it was used to insult people who were more, I guess, like me, right? Who were very single-mindedly like, this is what I like. I'm gonna do just this thing. And that thing was definitely not sports, maths, English, science. Like something that was, you know, was not definitely like the normal stuff you do at school. This is the age of the nerd though. I mean, yes. It's the age of something. Is the nerd the most defining thing right now? I don't know. The age of something. of the type of people that you see. I don't know, there's a lot of nerds. being passionate is definitely more accepted. Sometimes. It depends what you're passionate about still. It also kind of depends on who you are and what you're passionate about though as well. Because some people being passionate about some things is okay, and then other people it's like, no, but not you. So, it's a work in progress. Jelly cooling us geeks, always. I get all my reading done in video games. We got this yeah, me too. Growing up, I got a lot of reading done in video games, and it's now showing on stream because a lot of the video games that I played growing up didn't have voice acting, and so I didn't physically hear any of the words that I read, and so a lot of them I'm now finding as an adult that I'm mispronouncing. And there are now clips of me mispronouncing them consistently. It's great, I love it. I think I'm gonna go great, kids are stupid. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's not on purpose or anything like that. It's not a malicious, but yeah, there's a learning curve. So I bought this nail polish, top coat that claims to be scented raspberry sugar, and I just smelled it and it's got this regular nail polish, so it smells like raspberry sugar high proof vodka. It sounds delicious, but absolutely do not eat the nail polish. Age of the Geek, baby. Because esports is popping out millennials left and right. Oh, of course, esports. You know what, though? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Something that I would never have thought growing up was that you would be able to make any sort of living playing video games, and that yet how that has changed in so many different ways. Like outside of making video games, I suppose. Which, you know, is a bit different, but you know. It's yeah, that's really cool actually. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But then I would say I kind of grew up in a house where video games were pretty accepted. Like, you know, I still had other things to do in the house, like I couldn't just play video games, but my parents also played video games, and not just, you know, they played the same video games that I played. So, you know, we'd get like their hand-me-down games, which I think is a still reasonably new concept for people these days, because both of my parents would play games, you know. I remember even recently, like, recently, like, there was a Christmas where my sister, myself, and my parents all got Red Dead Redemption 2. Because we all wanted Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, you know, we were that kind of family where everyone in my family liked video games, and I don't know that there are too many families who probably were even like that back then, but there probably will be more and more families like that now growing up, which is interesting. Ah, dear. I don't know. I don't hang around kids, so I don't know what the current situation is. I don't know either. I mean, I don't really hang around anyone because, you know, pandemic. just 2020, 2021 stuff. I like Twitch. And I like my D&D groups, but they're predominantly around my age. I think I'm one of the younger, but then around my age, I think-ish. No, actually, I think predominantly they're around my age. Yeah. Dear me, do you know what a reasonable price brand for a sewing machine? I have no perspective, so I don't want to spend a lot of money that I don't need when I get a good, reliable one. I mean, it's going to be different in different countries, so please bear that in mind, because different countries have different brands that are leading. In the UK, the leading brands are Brother and Genome, and you'll see a lot of Genome and Brother machines. And they are good machines. Genome and Brother are good. I have a Genome machine right now. It's been wonderful. Really, really wonderful. I love it to pieces. The machine that I had before this with the Brother, I had it for 8 or 9 years. I think it was 8 years. And it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And they were both great. Both machines were all fabrics, so all fabrics enclosing jersey and upholstery. And they've been great. I do now have a Brother embroidery machine, so I still have a Brother machine. and they're both fantastic. But when it comes to brands, you're gonna want to look country by country, because buying a machine where your country doesn't stock any of the parts that replacement and stuff like that, just because you know it's a good brand elsewhere, would be a mistake, right? So it's difficult, because those are the leading brands in my country, but they might be other brands in your country that are just as good. You're UK as well, same as you. Okay, in that case, Brother and Genome you'll find parts for very easily. Brother and Genome in England and Wales for sure, you'll find them everywhere. Brother and Genome are everywhere. Singer you'll see a lot for as well. It's just, from what I've seen in the production of Singer, they're not making as big of a range at the moment as Brother and Genome. This is very much a personal preference. They're not doing as many. And so when it becomes to specifics, you'll often find a more specific machine for yourself in Genome and Brother. But you could always check out Singer too, because at the end of the day, they're an old brand, they still do a lot of good stuff. It's just that's my bias against Singer at the moment, is just the range that they're doing. It's not that the machines are bad, it's just the range. Oh dear. Pandemic's blah, I would really like to go to a Comic-Con. I know, right? I do, but I have to be a little careful because I have like an undiagnosed lung condition and I'm just a bit like... So probably not this year, but sometime. In the USA it's all about finding a vintage Singer for cheap and giving it a quick tune-up. Sounds like an awesome family. Yeah, it was. It's different, right? We also had like family friends who'd also play, like a lot of people, like family friends that play video games, and we'd get hand-me-downs from them. That's where we got Final Fantasy IX from. And so yeah, it's cool. By vintage I mean like 50s and before. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. If you have to be so careful though. So in the UK we have a lot of issues with people who have done that, and this is coming from someone who has worked. I want to be a little careful because I don't want to tell you exactly where I worked, because I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell the people on the stream any of the places that I've worked before, which is why I don't tell you the call center, I don't want to tell you the card and gift shop, and I won't want to tell you this place where I've worked before. But I have worked with sewing machines before. And I have worked in the selling and like helping people repair their sewing machines before. People who have done that, sometimes it works out really, really positively for them, right? And it can be the best thing they've ever done. We have also had people who have got a sewing machine and the parts within a few years become impossible to buy. And you just never know. You just never know whether it's going to be the best investment of your life, or you're going to come back in a year and get another one. And it's very hit or miss. If you have the disposable income, great. If you don't, it's a risk over here. So I'm very hesitant about recommending it to someone buying their first machine, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, that is up to you to do your research on that, about part replacement, stuff like that. For some things, it will be really easy to find part replacements. For some things, it will not be. And if you're happy to do that research, you can do that research. Ah, dear. Someone says you to know here is, it's not quite so bad over here. Over here it's not quite so bad. The older machines had metal parts, which doesn't happen anymore. If you want a machine that goes through everything, you either spend a lot or you buy an old one. It depends. So over here, there is a price jump between, I've said this before, and I'm gonna make a clip of it because I'll be honest, I've said this probably about 10 times now on stream, and I always say the same thing. There are 3 categories in the UK. That is lightweight, which is basically for patching up things, and that's about it. Lightweight to medium, which is, it will do your light fabrics and your medium weight fabrics. It does exactly what it says, which is your cottons, it'll do like this kind of fabric. It won't do too much else. So it's really good if you want to make shirts. It's really good if you want to do kind of like this kind of fabric. It's really good for that kind of stuff. What it won't do is it's not going to do your denims. It's not going to do your leathers. It's not going to do your upholsteries. So if you're going to want to go into cosplay, we're going to be sewing for a lot of foams. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that. It might become a little difficult to sew that sort of stuff. You're going to need can sew everything, including stretch and upholstery. Now, the price jump in the UK for branded machines is normally about 50 quid between those two. It is up to you whether or not you're going to want to take that. What you're going to want to look for is can sew all, including stretch and upholstery. And you just want to look for that. It's normally right at the bottom. It's really helpful. Dear. I figured a good quality machine would be a fair bit, but I didn't have a spectrum what too much to spend. If you're starting out here, you can get a heavy duty Brazzy on sale for $250 at most. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you do the conversion. Also, Dope Zone and Blocker, I hope you're both having a lovely day. Hello, hello, we're just doing a quick sewing machine jump. Jump talk. That's basically home machines, like I said, they won't sew anything. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. I'm doing okay, thank you. So you have to jump a lot more than that here. Yeah, the jump here it's not quite so bad. Now, don't get me wrong, on the machine that you jump to, you won't have like a lot of, you're not going to have all these features, you're not going to have all of these embroidery functions, you're not going to have like the sliders and stuff like that. It will be a simple machine, but it will sew everything. Honestly, I wish I could take you to that place that I used to work and talk you through all the machines, because I could literally be like, here's the one that doesn't do it, here's the one that does. Here's the price difference. They are exactly the same machine. One doesn't do all fabric, one does. And that's the only difference. And it is about a 50 quid price jump. And that's it. And they do it in both brands. I think Singer does kind of do it, but not as much. But bear in mind, you know, they are constantly bringing out new machines as well. It will then be up to you. It's much easier if you can normally talk to a sale assistant, because they're going to know these things. If you can just go in and talk to someone and say, hey, or even if it's just over the phone, I want to buy something that's, you know, can do this fabric, and this fabric, but I don't need all the extra junk on top. I just want to be able to sew these fabrics. They should be able to point you to one in each brand, and you can make a decision based on what you want to do going forward, and that's normally the easiest for a customer. Yes. A full machine, it grows on you. No one machine will do all of the tricks. Or the only thing this one doesn't do is embroidery, because it's not an embroidery machine. But I will say, this one's pretty damn good. I did get it on sale because it was an X display. But, oh, it's lovely. It's truthfully, it is a lovely machine. I have sewn on many machines, because we also did like what do you call it? Examples? What do you call them? I don't remember what they're called. When you sew in front of people and you help show them how a machine works, and you set it up for them and stuff like that. I can't remember what that's called. We did that. I've sewn on many machines. I love this machine. And I thought my partner's two machine were excessive. The thing is, it's like you want sewing machine, but then it's like maybe you want to do embroidery, so then you want embroidery machine, but then you want the what do you call it? The one that I can't fit in my room at the moment. Yes, that one. That trims your edges and does the nice seam. Honestly, for me, that's the least important one. But for many people who do just dressmaking, that's the most important one. But not in my case. But for many people, that is. I was early for edging, a basic with fancy stitching like Jelly's got, and an old heavy duty that's got some refurbished, some spent more than traded in, and a second straight stitch. Someone broke my heavy duty, so don't do light fabrics and heavy ones. Oh god, running out. So just one will do for now, Sergio. Oh dear. I live for my Sergio. It makes fancy dress so much easier because you can apply lace overlays and trim the edges at the same time. That's fair. I'll be honest, it's it's not the Sergio that I'm thinking of. I think we call it something different. It's probably the same thing, but we call it something different, and I can't remember for the life of me what we call it. You might know, but I can't. What do we call it over here? I don't remember. We have a name for it, and I don't remember what it is. Ideal for corsets. Yeah, you're not wrong there. What's it called? Bother. I don't remember. I've had a lot of people ask me if it's ideal for their first machine though, and that's when I'm a bit like, probably not. If you're just wondering if you want to get into sewing, that's a bit intense for a first machine. I'd say especially if you want to get into something like cosplay, because it is very limiting. But it's not... What is it called? Oh. Yeah, it has... It's probably called a serger over there, but we call it something different. It's not a serger. I'm like 99% sure it is exactly the same thing, but we don't call it a serger. We call it a something else. I'm like 99% sure it is the same exact thing, but we don't call it a serger. Oh, you can't top stitch with it. Not a first machine, a secondary tool. Yeah. Overlock, that's what I'm thinking. Overlocker. Yeah, I'm thinking of an overlocker. Okay. Oh dear. Heckin'. Overlock machine. Yep. Same thing. Yeah, I thought that's what it was. Yeah, I know because yeah, occasionally people would come in and call it that, and we'd be like, huh? A what? A what now? What are you calling it? See how you get used to people calling it something different. But you know, there's always that thing with machines where it's like people call it something different, and you're just left for a second like, oh no, oh no. Do I even sew? Do I even sew? I don't know. I question my life. It's been called a different name and now I have no idea. It is odd actually sometimes, I think, how because of course we speak the same language, but we call things completely different things sometimes. It's kind of cool though. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. I was about to say it, Google wasn't fast enough. Ah! Yeah, it like escaped my mind. I was like, I have it pictured in my head. No idea what it's called. A level of great is doing things that need neat edges. Yeah, exactly. But like for a first machine, it's... I think a lot of people see it on online, and it's like it's and you know you see great reviews for them, right? But it's like not for a first. No. We'd have a bad time. It'd be very limited. It'd be a bit sad. I don't want that. Ah. Overlock sounds like a cool villain. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right, we've now got... Oh god, how to show you. All up the edge. Oh, this is upside down. Upside down fire. All up the edge. Oh dear. How to do the fire here? I'm not sure. Well, we'll work from the top, I think, and go down. So the top of it is right over here. Yeah. Well, let's work from the... We have to kind of work from the very, very top. Otherwise, the layers all get jumbled together, which... bit of a pain. So we'll work from the very, very top, I suppose. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. If you were going to make nothing but stretch tops and leggings, you might be able to do it with an overlock. Yeah, I suppose that's true. But, it sounds like hell. Wait, I might need a bigger hoop at this point. So, like, the idea of doing just that is like, ugh, God. I mean, I'm sure for someone that's like the dream. There's someone who that's what they want to do. For me, oh, no, only stretch. Okay, big hoop, please. I think I'll just make it a little larger. Yeah. Just run in here. Oh dear, I need a single bit top stitch and you need a straight stitcher, yeah. You'd be like, well, the end of the road for me. Yeah, thank you for Hornsay. I'd say like it's like a nice luxury, right? It's a nice bit of luxury, kind of same as an embroidery machine. If you only want to make patches, an embroidery machine's fine, but for most people I think it's more like a little luxury. You add to your ever-growing craft collection. And when you have it, you're like, yeah! The probably not the first one. You've probably added it to a collection. Part of why I like it is silk satin. Oh, God. Get that name out of my chat. Get that out of my chat right now. Oh, we don't talk about silk satin in this chat. It's a butt, and I had to use it when I think pretty recently. But and we don't talk about it. Dear. So you cut tiny weird shapes for silk wedding corset. Wedding dresses. They're hex. They're all hex. Ooh. Yuck. Ugh. Big ugh. So I'm just loosening the hoop a bit. Dear. If you want make a silk chiffon wedding dress, I'd call it more of a necessity though. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that I have the physical space to have one right now. But you're probably right. You can muck your way through it, but... because that's what I had to do. But you'll hate it every step of the way. If you want to hate everything, there you go. That's a way of doing it. You're gonna want that napkin. Yeah. Get this out of my chat right now. Get it out. I'm having pain feelings. Many pain feelings. So much easier with Surge night and day. Some of us have been asked to make enough of them. We have surged in corset grommeting. Oh, corset grommeting machines. I have hand grommeting. I don't do grommeting enough, I don't think, at this point. It would save you hours on mold hair. Get it out. Get it out. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No. You know, I've had probably since the last dress that I made. Like that. Even actually since just some of the big dresses that I make generally. I think I've had 2 people ask me to make their wedding dresses. And I've had to politely decline. I just can't handle it. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. It's too much for me. I just remember it sucked all the life out of me. Every time it's very flattering, of course, but I just can't. I just can't. You know, I think often they look very effortless, right? It looks very effortless, but I just can't. All of the life just leaves me. You have to do what? I had to do so much. I had to do so. There was so much, and I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time because I was just following tutorials, and I was. Oh, so Red and Wolf, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Welcome. We're doing some free motion embroidery at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to redo my thread quickly. But we are doing fire. We're doing fire into my outfit. Yes. Because we have a second whole fake body, but not a wedding dress. Listen. Yes. Wedding dresses, the other thing is like... they're just so expensive. Like, if you... No. No. They're just so expensive. And no. Like, I understand, but no. Oh. I'm not up for it. I'm terrorizing jelly with a discussion of silk and rod hems. There was a time as well, unpredictable, where I did all of my hems like that because I thought that was how you were meant to do it. Because of those tutorials. Yeah, sorry, we're doing like fire, like little patches of fire. I'll see if I can show you because sorry, we're very zoomed in because we're about to do some more stitching. But yeah, we have like a girl lying and stuff, and there's fire all going around the edge of it now. We're adding a lot of color. I'm about to add some more red. Yes, fire red is lovely. Thank you. Yeah, heck yeah, it is. Right, more fire. It's a very big panel, so it's a bit difficult to show it all in the zoomed in cam, but I will show on the other camera. Yep. They always ask for blood. Blood. I never made a wedding dress without ending up stabbed and almost bleeding on the dress at least once. The first dress that I ever made was a wedding dress pattern. And I turned it into an Alexander McQueen inspired dress, which, by the way, did not make it any easier. Because I ended up sewing about 800 pockets onto the dress, which was a decision. And that was the first time I had to go to the hospital because of my sewing machine. I will say, the x-ray was phenomenal, but yeah, I punctured straight through my, this is why I can't fully, like, it doesn't fully, like, yeah, my finger is a bit hecked because I sew through the joint on my index finger. But the x-ray was phenomenal. I had to like take the needle out of my finger, like with the rolly at the edgy. I will say the fabric was ruined. And I was 14. I remember just sitting there looking at my finger. Look, I also had to gather up the needle because they were like, how much did you leave any of it in your finger? And I was like, no, it's here. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Mine has never asked for that much blood. Yeah, to be fair, all things considered, I think I went into shock immediately, so it didn't hurt that much. I was just a bit like, huh. I didn't realize it could do that. I thought that the needle would snap as soon as it tried to go through the bone, but it turns out, no. It just goes through like butter. This is the other thing that I would say is, you think your household machine doesn't cry for your blood. No, it doesn't cry for your blood, but it will hole punch your bones. Yeah, that was my first household machine. I think, yeah. I've gone through with the household machine a few times. I got my finger yesterday. I don't know if you can see it though. Oh yeah, there you go. The first time. Yeah. And this is, I think, well, this time, to be fair though, I put the foot down onto my finger, which is why it's gone through the side of my finger. Not like the down, because I was like taking I was like moving stuff around, and then for some reason I just put it down on my finger, which is not what you're meant to do. I was getting very confused about the order of things, and I put it down onto my finger, which meant it just went rather than sewing through my finger, I just went straight down like a hole punch. So that was completely my own fault. But yeah, so I don't know if that one would count as much, but it does hurt. Maybe unwittingly made a deal with the devil, and that's where all this talent comes from. With my bloody finger onto the fabric. Couple layers of denim are in fact way more of an issue to go through than your finger. Yeah, I know, right? My finger must just be made of jelly. But yeah, so that was the worst time, to be fair. The other times were not nearly as bad. If you have exposure from your bone to the surface, you have to take antibiotics. So that was the worst time. Yeah. Because technically, my bone had exposure to the surface air, right? So, you have to take antibiotics. Which isn't very fun. Very fun. You gotta tell, take care, Ben! I hope you have a good rest of your day! KP, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Sorry, on that, we should probably get back to sewing now. The sewing won't do itself! Yeah. Whee! How many times did you end up? I don't know if I ended up... I've been to the doctors a couple times. I don't know if I ended up in full-on hospital again. Because I've been through the nail a few times. I went through in college one time. I was using one of their sewing machines, and I went through the nail. I don't remember if they had to take me to the hospital though or not. I think they might have just taken me to the doctor. Because it didn't go through the bone that time. That's where it's important, is if it doesn't go through the bone, it's not so much of an issue. I think it still hurts, but it's not so much of an issue. Like, the worst that could happen is you might lose your nail, which, again, is not as big of a problem, but if it goes through the bone, you have to take antibiotics. So, yeah, that was the main one. Oh my goodness, how to prevent sewing accidents. Yeah, basically don't put your hand under the needle. If you're sewing through very thick pieces of fabric, don't push through from behind the needle. Push through either side. There's like a big gap under here. You can push through like that. And if that's not working, stop. You're doing too much. Because that's all the times where I have had that happen, is I'm just trying to push too big of a thing through my sewing machine. And that's why I found that it's had that happen, right? Is because what I'm trying to push through the sewing machine is too thick. And so I push, and then I push it too hard from directly behind, and then I push my hand in. And then I get sewn. And I don't have very quick reflexes for that sort of thing, so I just end up sewing on me. Someone with quicker reflexes might be okay, but I don't have that. Thank you. You can sew it. That's, well, you know, you want to be careful because you definitely don't want to sew hand, but yeah, hand sew it would be fun, I suppose. Oh, Lily, I'm beginning to wonder if your sewing machine punctured. Because I haven't once put a sewing machine through any part of my hand, let alone twice. I think I've done it 4 times. Yes. Yes. 4 times. 4 times. But you know what? You can use me as a warning to, like, the young people who are starting sewing for the first time, where they'll be like, I once knew a lady who put a sewing machine through, or not whole sewing machine, a sewing machine needle through her finger. So make sure that you do it in this particular way. There you go. I can be like the old wives' tale. Did you freehand the fire here, or did you sketch out before? I sketched out very briefly where I wanted the fire, but the majority of it I'm freehanding. So that I know the general area I want it to take up, but like fire I want it to be quite freehand, kind of. Yeah. So I know the general area I want it to fill, but I want it to look quite free, so I'm kind of doing it like that, so it looks quite free. I mean, if we include this time, I think that's 5 times, but, you know, I don't think that I'm going to include this time because this isn't a time where, like, I have to actually check if I've got any needle left in my finger, so... And unless I have to check that, I don't think it counts. Oh dear. Lily, what we are politely instituting the term as a walking liability. You know, I'm surprised at that one job they actually let me demonstrate. That's the word I was trying to think of. Demonstrate the machines to people. Because they knew how many times I'd sewn through my hand. They were like, yeah, she can demonstrate the machines to people. That's okay. It's fine. She'll be fine. I'm just there like... But like, to be fair, we would get a lot of people be like, thank you for the horn gone, how is it going? I hope you're having a good day. We would get a lot of people ask like, well, it's not like you can actually ever put a sewing machine needle through your hand. And I'd just be there like, well actually, you know, that's not true. You can. Be careful. Please use your machine with respect. Please, like, you know, take care of yourself when you use this. follow the instructions. Don't do this when you're drunk or tired. Like, come on now. You can put yourself in risk. You don't want to take antibiotics. Oh dear. Not so much as like fear tactics, but more as just like, you know, the idea that you can't hurt yourself on a home machine is just not real. But you also can absolutely prevent yourself from getting hurt on a home machine by just following normal safety practices. And I'm just a bit careless, truth be told. I'm forgetful. Evening, morning people, how are you doing, Gone? I hope you're having a good day. Yes, in 12 days. 12 days gone, 12 days. And I'll be sleeping for 1 whole year. It has crept up on me that whoa, for a whole year. Oh dear. Hype. We were just talking about sewing our fingers, but not on purpose. Oh dear. Wait, Hungry Heather. Hi. How's it go? Oh my god. Amazing. We're just sewing some fire. Hopefully you can kind of see it. You can kind of see the red slowly building up. Oh, dot. Oh. Something's wrong. I feel it. I see it now. There's a slight build-up of red around the needle, so I'm just going to rethread it. Better to sort these things and nip them in the bud. Otherwise, I'm going to have issues any minute now. Yeah. I will say, every single time I've sewn through my finger, it's been the same finger, so the poor finger is destroyed. Oh, but on the plus side, the rest of my hand has been reasonably well off. It's always the same one. It's always the same one. Also, though, I'm not the only person that I know who's sewn through their hand. I actually watched a friend of mine in college sew through their finger as well. Same one as me. I guess it just must be the one that positions itself under the needle as you're sewing. if you do it wrong. If you do it wrong. And yeah, I watched them do it too. They were lucky in some ways, I suppose. They only went through their nail too, so they didn't have to go to take any antibiotics or anything. But yeah, I'm not even the only person I know. I literally watched somebody else do it. Oh, doing great. Heckin' leg day. It's getting easier, my body adjusted. No student day, but still a good day. I'm glad you're having a good day. I'm sorry that your legs are tired. I hope they recover quickly. I tried using a sewing machine a few times and never got it right, lol. Try for Zelda cosplay! Oh, heck! Honestly, I love a good Zelda cosplay. I mean, even before I ever actually played a Zelda game, there's just something very cool about the color scheme of Zelda. I guess as well, like, now that she has more outfits. But yeah, Zelda always had like a lot of colors going on, and so I love the fact that you could do some fun stuff with it. You could do some fun stuff with it. I hope the Zelda cosplay went well. I will say, after Breath of the Wild, Zelda was tempting. It was tempting. I was tempted by Zelda, but I didn't end up doing a Zelda cosplay. I didn't, but I was tempted. I just love Breath of the Wild so much. And it was my first Zelda game, because we never had any of the consoles to play Zelda games growing up, so I was like, a Zelda game that I can play? Wow! We were like PlayStation and Sega, and then we had Xbox, so we didn't have that. Go! Let's fill this piece in. I think I probably want to go a little further in, but not too much. Yeah, there's a lot of patterns and I ended up painting because it was a lot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with painting. The other thing I really like for things like that, I probably, do I have it to hand? No, of course I don't. That would be too easy. Puffy paint. Like fabric puffy paint. I'd fabric puffy paint the heck out of that costume because there's so many things that would look really cool as like raised details, right? But I wouldn't want to embroider all of that. I'd be a bit lazy. But yeah, raised puffy paint, because then I could just go, like, I could put it on in chalk, like with what I've been doing like right now. Chalk it all onto the fabric and then chalk it all on, then go over the top of it in puffy paint and then be like, yeah! And there's some such nice metallic like puffy paints as well for fabric, and they look so good. From a distance you can't even see that they're not embroidered. Easy peasy. I love it. Oh dear. Oh, will you be cosplay Zelda Jelly with the bow also? Oh my god, no. With the veins bow? Oh, ew. Zelda's super pretty, they are. Get to play a Zelda game, I keep putting off for some reason. You know, I would say like, I don't blame you because of course they are quite large games and I can kind of see like the not wanting to, did I brush my hair this morning? Yes, sorry. I can kind of see not wanting to start one when they're a little bit longer, but you know, Breath of the Wild was wonderful, really wonderful. And I really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I played it, and I might play it again at some point, honestly. Especially now that it's got a little bit more content. Breath of the Wild is a lot different to the other ones, but it's honestly a perfect one to jump into. There was another one as well that got was it remastered recently that I kind of now want to play, which looks really up my alley. I can't remember what it's called, but I was definitely interested in playing that one. Exactly, heck yeah. Oh, Unpredictable, take care. Get some good sleep, look after yourself, and thank you so much for popping by. I was meant to borrow the copy from Mate, but they bogged off to Plymouth. Oh, god damn it. So to find someone else to spend the money, it sucks Switch games don't get cheaper over time. They absolutely don't. Link's Awakening, I think that might be it, yeah. It's like they all look very short. I'm interested to combine Link and Guts. Oh, gone. Oh, that'd be so cool. Honestly, as well, I can imagine those two going quite well together. Link and Guts. Like, that's the cool thing, because Zelda is such a beloved franchise. You see so many, like, interesting versions of the characters. Link and Guts would be an interesting one. Also, Moo! How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. And Heather, thank you so much for the follow. That's very kind of you. How goes the speed running? So the speed running... I don't know if you know much about the Final Fantasy IX speedrun. We did a big oopsie, and by we I mean me. So on Wednesday we decided, I say we, this was also me, I kind of just decided, but like we got to the end of disc 3 and I was like, you know what, we're still practicing and I got a bit of extra time, let's just practice disc 4 as well, because disc 4 is quite short. Right, so it's like, we'll just do disc 4 on the same day, get some practice for disc 4 in as well. So we also practiced disc 4, and we were actually doing reasonably okay at disc 4 for it being our first practice, right? We're actually doing reasonably okay, and then I forgot to pick up Excalibur, which is like Steiner's big old sword, and then we got to like the final, there's 3 bosses in a row, right at the end of Final Fantasy IX, and it was just like on the guide like, right, now use Excalibur, and I was like, use what? Use what? And I forgot to pick it up, and it meant that I couldn't do the last 3 bosses because I was too weak, and it was so disappointing. It was so disappointing because we were so close to like getting an actual practice run in, and I was too weak at the end because I didn't pick up bloody Excalibur. And I reversed the big sword with a huge bow. Oh, that sounds so lovely. Look into the plans. Yeah. Heck yeah. Right, let's switch out for the orange now. Oh no, I know. It was a bad time. It just bad. Just very bad. I felt so stupid. Like, who forgets to pick up Excalibur? I guess me, but yeah. The current plan is, Moo, that we're going to be on the 14th, which is the actual anniversary of the stream. We're going to be doing a nice... Oh, thank you for horn! We're going to be doing like a nice craft day, like some appreciation, some chilling, like a nice old day of chilling and crafts and relaxing, and probably quite a long stream on that day too. But then on the 15th of April, so the day after, that's when we're going to be doing the stream run, so that'll be on the Thursday. That's the current plan. I will probably put that in the Discord too, but yes, that is the plan. So that, yeah. So we can have like a nice day which is with crafting, because that is predominantly what we do on this channel. And then the day after we will be doing the speed run of Final Fantasy IX. Which will probably end up being like 13 hours from what it looks like right now. Which is still reasonably quick for the game, but Jesus Christ, it's not that speedy. The only thing is, on the actual speedrun I can skip the cutscenes, which will speed it up a little bit. Sounds lovely. Heck yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to it. I'm gonna be a little sad to skip the cutscenes for the sake of time, because I really like the cutscenes. But there's just no way, there's no way. We will be here for 13 hours if I don't skip the cutscenes. So... I have to. For the sake of everyone, I have to skip the cutscenes. We'll be here all day. On the plus side though, with it being such a long stream, hopefully we'll hit most time zones. So there is that. I think that'll probably end up being our longest ever stream, to be honest. So that's nice. So the longest stream we've done up to now is a 12-hour stream. I think it's gonna go longer than 12 hours. just looking so far at our current runs, I get a feeling. Right, let's add some orange. And some red. Okay. And go. So now what we're doing is we're just filling in the orange segment. It's pretty nice and easy. It's literally just filling in one segment and then filling in the next segment. And then we have how the heckin' fire. Oh. This is almost like a bedtime song, right? Every now and again the music comes on and I'm like, I don't know. This is meant to be elevator music, in case you're interested. It doesn't really feel like elevator music, but that's okay, whatever. I still appreciate the input. Who are you? Pretzel, that's who you are. Pretzel, I appreciate the input. I don't think this is elevator music, but thank you for playing music. That's very kind of you. Oh dear. There we go, and now I start filling it in. So when I speed up, it's because we're basically filling in a space, and it's really quite easy to fill in the space quickly. Like, it doesn't take a lot of thought. It's literally just going over the same places over and over again. Have to do this a few times. And get some wiggles in here. Some wiggles. And do a bit of this. There we go. Nice. Ah dear. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Now we just need the yellow in the middle. Or do I want more orange at the bottom? Maybe I want more orange at the bottom actually. I don't know, this doesn't feel like enough orange down here. Because I could use a little bit more. Because the yellow's going to be going over the top of it, see? So it's like, if there's not enough orange, it's going to look really, really yellow. And that's not good. We don't want it to look really, really yellow. We want it to look fairly orange. Let's just get a little bit more orange, shall we? There we go. That's a bit better. A little bit more orange in there. That's better, that's better. with how accident prone I am, I would be scared of getting myself under that needle. That's why you don't take your hand off the ring. Keep on the ring. Stay on the ring, and then you'll be okay. Although, what time is it? I wonder if I have a package downstairs. If I do, I'm gonna go get it, because then I might have something that might help me with that particular problem. Which should be very exciting. I also might have some tea. But let me see. Do I have a package? I do. Oh my god. I might take a really quick break then and get that package. Ah, dear. I love the comedy of the super speedy action. It's just like zero, I know. Also, Robbie, I hope you're having a good day. Ah, yes. Yeah, I can show you my fancy tea. Give me 2 seconds then and I'll grab my package. I just have to get the stuff out from inside of it, you know, for safety. I'll leave you very briefly with chair if that's okay. And then I'll go get back in just 2 minutes. Would you actually like proper chair? I can give you proper chair. There you go. Your proper chair. Back in a bag. I got the stuff! I got the stuff! I'll show you. Oh dear, Chestrum. It's Chestrum. Dem! How's it going, Dem? I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, this is what I was hoping for. Also, this is the tea. Isn't that cool? Ah, yes! Pecking tea. I'll put it down there for now. Oh, and this is the other thing which actually Unpredictable recommended, which is a seam ripper that isn't going to give me blisters all over my hand, which I'm really happy about because, my god, I have like 3 blisters right now that are healing on my hand from the unpicking earlier this week. So apparently this is specifically made, I won't open it right now actually because I don't need to do any unpicking, but it's specifically made that that it won't hurt me. Oh dear, she's back, act normal. What were you guys doing? Yeah. Oi oi. What were you guys doing? Can I help you? Can I help you? Not the stuff, now we need to call the cops on you. No! So how do I get in? Okay. Right. I'm assuming I need my thingy. Yeah, so I need my thingy. This is the foot. So this is the hoop foot, but it's open at one end. So the other one was closed. This one's open. Yeah, hoop foot. Hoop foot. Yeah, I'll show you normal foot for comparison with hoop foot, if you like. So you can get like a little look into the world of foot. Which loves feet, right? So this is like right up your guys' alley. Oh, I need the pin too. Where's the pin? Good stuff. I tried boba again for the first time in years. Oh, the place is delicious. Oh, I want to try the plain one so badly because I've only had the fruity one. I'm glad you really liked it. The tea looks good. It was one of the ones on the tea advent calendar that I rated really high, so I'm really excited to try it. This is my normal walking foot. So it's got like a really, really small hole for that's where the needle will go through. It's a very, very small hole. It just sort of has that movement. It's a very, very small movement. Yes. And then there's this one, which is our open hoop foot, which has no movement at all. But it's really good for the embroidery, because it'll mean with that like oval C shape, I can do the zigzag stitches as well. Yes, 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 yes. Nothing to see here, we totally behaved. Good. Only behaved beans in this stream. Right, let's attach this to my machine. Hopefully it fits. Should do. The way, I can actually probably show you how to attach this as well if you're curious. So normally to attach, let me just move all this out of the way so it doesn't blur out my screen. Okay. Sorry. Adjusting to the light is what it's doing. So, okay. So all of them come with like a little pin. Not the feet, like all sewing machines, so that you can attach different feet. And then you hook it around this part here. And then there's a little hole through here. And should be able to just put the pin through that hole. It just takes a moment to fiddle it in. Come on. Get in. There we go. Oh, so close. So close. I know you want to fit. Oh. I got it. There we go. And then we tighten it. And should be good. There we go. Nice. Through the hoop foot. There it is. That's hoop foot. Yeah. that is hoop. But that's open hoop foot. But yeah. There you go. Nice. That's what I've been waiting for like 2 weeks. But we got it. There's also a piece of fluff here. That's no good. There you go. Get out of there. No fluff. Ah. Good. That deserves a sip of tea. Stan's feet with small holes. Oh no. But yeah, it should make my life quite easy now. I just have a little forward and backward movement. Hoopfoot sounds like, it does sound like a condition. I'm afraid that you've been diagnosed with hoopfoot. I should hopefully be able to take this up and down. Yeah. That's the other thing. Look at that. Wow! Would you look at that? So bouncy. It bounces so much. So I could take it, like, put it down, but then be like, but also up. Then take it up and higher. Oh, you get hooped for playing too much hopscotch. Oh god. Ew. Oh, it do be looking good though. Nah, this looks really cool. I like this a lot. Like your mom would say, if you keep your shoes on the top, you get a hoop foot. And I wish. I'd wear my shoes more often. Because these things are not cheap. I mean, they're cheaper than some attachments, but they're not like super cheap. Oh. Right, we need to change our bobbin. Heck yeah. I'd wear my shoes all the time. Oh. Where's Red? Get out of the bin! Stop that. Stop being silly. I'm excited about this tea though. Yeah, it's a traditional sticky toffee pudding in your hot little hands. My hot little hands, excuse me. The indulgently rich taste of caramel, silky toffee sauce, and steaming sticky date make for a drool-worthy brew that's simply sublime. And it's basically like a breakfast tea, but Yeah, it's like a little bit sweeter than a breakfast tea. It's so nice. I think I got it loose, right? I'm gonna check that actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got it loose. So you can see all the leaves. Do you want to see the leaves? Look at all these leaves. Whoa! Whoa! All my leaves! Oh, it's so cool. They smell really nice as well. They're in a sealed bag, but they smell. I can smell them. It does smell like a sticky toffee pudding, but in tea. Yes, it smells so good. Ah, it's so good smelling. Yes, I can keep that nearby just so I can smell it. It smells really good. I love it. Don't sew the tea. Honestly, wouldn't mind sewing a bit of that into my costume. So my costume smelled like that. Oh, it smells so nice. Delicious. Super delicious. I'm gonna have some of that when the shipments. I'm gonna be like, tea! We do also have actually interesting cake downstairs right now. We have courgette and lemon cake. It's not a cake that I've really, I think, ever had before. I don't know if anyone in chat's ever had a courgette and lemon cake. But we have a courgette and lemon cake downstairs. You fancy that? Courgette and lemon, huh? I'm actually kind of interested on what a courgette and lemon cake tastes like. Cake, do you deliver? Honestly, if I could deliver like a small piece to everyone, so sadly get like, you know, share around the experience of trying a cake like that, I would. Because, you know, I think personally, like, stuff like that, it is always more excited, like, it's more fun to share, because then you get to see, and to be fair, the tea as well, it's more excited to share, because then you get to see other people's experiences with it. Oh, it's fun, right? Cake. Oh, cake. But I personally never had that one either, so I don't know that it's any good, but I'm quite excited. I like courgette in soups and like that kind of setting, but I'm not normally a big fan of courgette. Who done it, by the way? Fries! Fries! Thank you for the horn. Also, what? Oh my god, hydrate. Do you want to see my tea, Fries? I'm just hiding it. Look, sticky date delight. I'm not drinking that right now, but I got it in the post today. Very exciting. Sounds interesting. I had a co-worker make a tomato soup cake. What? With cream cheese frosting before, and that really sounds like just tomato soup though, because like you might put like cream in your tomatoes to like cool it down, right? That just sounds like tomato soup. That just sounds like tomato. Oh no! I know, right? Excuse me. Date delight, huh? Was that? Yeah. So that's the one that got lost in the post. It did straight up just get lost in the post though, so I had to request a refund and reorder it. But I got it. I got it now. The recipe is very similar. Wait, really? It tastes like carrot cake? I like carrot cake. Oh, that's true actually. I'm very accepting of carrot cake, but then tomato soup cake, I'm like, oi oi. What are you putting in my cake, eh? That's what they said too. Oh, wait, really? I should be more accepting of these cake flavors, clearly, because like, I'm very accepting of carrot cake, and that's like, you know. Honestly, tomatoes are fruit, so it has more of a place in cake than carrots, and carrot cake is delicious. Yeah, we're talking about it Fridays because I have a courgette and lemon cake downstairs. And I've never had a courgette and lemon cake, as far as I'm aware. I don't know, you never know. I might have eaten one and not realised it, right? There's always that chance. But as far as I'm aware, I've not had a courgette and lemon cake. And I'm just a bit curious. I'm going to have some of it for lunch today. But what it tastes like. Or like also what the texture of it's like. If it's made with courgette. It just sounds wrong though. It sounds like one of those things you make. Like, has anyone seen the channel? Oh, what is it called? I'll find it. It's in my history. I watch them every now and again. Oh god, Bob, are you okay? Bob, 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 Bob. I think it's called Ultimate Sausage. Is that what it's called? Oh no, it's not Ultimate Sausage. What are they called? I'll find it because I'll type in ice sausage. Ice sausage, yeah, I'll find it through that. Ordinary sausage, that's who they are. Ordinary sausage. Okay, let me just put the YouTube channel for this and you'll see. Basically, it's someone who turns everyday things into sausages. Like ice. I think this is the right one. So, like, you wanna see ice turned into a sausage? Sure. You wanna see a donut turned into a sausage? Sure. You wanna see syrup turned into a sausage? Sure. You wanna see a Pop-Tart turned into a sausage? We got you. You wanna see a banana turned into a sausage? Absolutely. You wanna see oil turned into a sausage? Okay. You wanna see an entire fish turned into a sausage? Yeah, we got you. So yeah, listen, it turns up in your recommended once and you just become hooked. Oh. Why was I talking about this? I can't remember. Maybe for common folk, poor people to have something sweet for special occasions while you— oh wait, really? Oh, that's cool. That kind of makes sense actually. Kind of like the make do with what you got kind of mentality. Tomato soup and cake are words that just don't go together. It's a bit difficult to get over it in my mind, but I get it. The channel, what's it called? Find it in my history. Don't think that I do. It's okay, I posted in the chat if you want to see ordinary sausage. You turn a sausage into another sausage. Honestly, probably. I like watching the miserable morning episodes where they make pies, cakes and other foods people doing different eras. And oh, trying to guess what year it's from. Can recommend watching. Yeah, I like seeing stuff like that. It is curious. It's curious. It's interesting. It's also cool because I feel like a lot of the recipes that I really enjoy, like I really like, sometimes recipes where it's like, oh, they come from the like, oh, they couldn't get butter during this time, so they used this, and I'm like, oh, that's why we use that ingredient. Because often these recipes, I have to go out of my way these days to get these ingredients, right? But it's literally just because they couldn't get the ingredients back then. And it's like, huh. It's always interesting. Because yeah, a lot of the recipes that I use are like my parents, who it was my grandparents' recipes, right? And it's because they couldn't get those ingredients. And it's really interesting. Because we haven't changed them that much. So it's like, oh, this makes more sense now. Like, why are we just continuously using all this? I don't understand. It's because it was really cheap. Oh my god. But yeah. My nan, they're not as poor as other people, but money was tight, and told me about the cake she remembers from her childhood, and it was simply be very simple pastry with whipped cream. Ah, I remember making pastry when I was little. We literally, okay, sorry, this is a bit off topic. I remember making pastry and we would just... I don't know how I ate them now. We just made like pastry shapes. We had these teeny tiny cutters, but like the pastries were about this big. And we'd just make like pastry. I think they're meant to be decorations, but that's all we'd make. So we'd make like a whole tray of like pastry stars and hearts and shapes. And they were pastries. And like now as an adult, I think pastries and I think really fancy things with jam and cream and stuff like that. But when I was a kid, the pastries were like a tray of literal, it's just pastry. And I remember giving them to my grandparents, and my granddad would always be like, delicious. It's literally just a piece of pastry. Oh, they just love it. Good stuff. I just can't help but think I must have been a nightmare kid because of the amount of energy that I had. Like, my heart was probably in the right place a lot of the time. I just can't help but think I was a bit of a nightmare. Right, let's put this up on here. Can we get this over the hoop? We can. Wonderful. And we're gonna start doing this. Oh dear. Whereas my granddad, who lived in the countryside, told me about the sweets he had in his childhood. They were long, far between, but it would be usually a pie with fruit from the garden or a vegetable cake. I love fruit and vegetables and cake. I love them. I love cake. Upside down cake. Yeah, flip cake, not flip cake. Upside down cake. Jelly, energetic? No way. Absolutely not. But like, I think it was even worse. Must have been when I was a kid. Also, do you see this, by the way? It's Stampy. It's Stampy. Do you like the Stampy motion? Are you guys a fan of the Stampy motion? Is it to your liking? Do you like it? Do you like the Stampy motion? I'm just like, do you guys like my new foot? Can we get on OnlyFans? Not OnlyFans, that's the wrong one. What's the feet page? Wiki feet. Can we get on Wiki feet with sewing machine feet, or will I get kicked off? Does Wiki feet even exist anymore? Or is it just a meme? Can I get on Wiki feet for sewing machine feet, or will I get kicked off for it? Because this is a really nice foot. It has a really nice stampy motion. Good stamps, good size, very consistent. Bit squeaky, but you know, you could mute the GIF on Wiki feet. I'd say all around a very nice foot. Top rank. I'd give it an A. I don't think I'd put it in S tier for feet. But you know, I'd say it's a well-ranking foot. I have to say, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying using it. It's consistent on its stitching as well. Like, I've not skipped really any stitches since using this. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I want pineapple upside down cake. I love upside down cake. What the hell? What do you mean, what the hell? Can we get on OnlyFans? Not on OnlyFans. No, I think you need some res. What do you mean? I was waiting for someone else to do that. No, I said the wrong word. I meant wiki feet. No. I meant wiki feet. We were just talking about cake. When did this happen? Well, I had a thought, right? Listen, do you ever have a thought that isn't quite on topic, but it escapes your mouth anyway? Well, I had a thought, okay? And it was about wiki feet. And I was like, wait, I've got a really nice foot right here. There's gotta be some people who are fans of sewing machines, and this is a sexy foot. Like, someone's gonna like this. And I think it's A tier. This is an A tier foot. Listen, I'll tell, like, look, I understand you can't really see it this well in this light. Can you? This is an A tier foot, this here. This deserves a spot on wiki feet. I don't know. I think that it does. The only issue is if I turn the light on, you can't really see it that well. Yeah, that's the only problem. No! No! Why are you doing this to me? God damn it. Zay! I went from 0 to jelly. What are you talking about, 0? I'm not a quantity of measurement. No. I want pie now. Well, I want pie all the time. Every day. All the time. Also, did you see the fire? Would you like to see it? Foot reveal. Oh, anytime. Fire. You don't have to wait for the anniversary stream for a foot reveal. That's okay. Oh dear. Both cottage pie and lemon custard pie. We have a quiche downstairs. Is that a pie? Or is that a tart? Because it's topless. A topless pie is a tart, right? Oh, Vicky! Hi! Sorry! You caught me contemplating pies. How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. How goes the stream? We were just talking about feet and pies. And... Oh dear. I love quiche. Yes! Super underrated. I like quiche too! How was your stream? By the way, did I manage to shout you out? I did. Anyone who doesn't know Vicky does the gaming and also just chatting. They do a really, really nice sort of like vibe in the just chatting streams, so that they often will pick some topics and they'll talk about them in detail. They'll do some research with the chat. So if you're looking to do like a little bit of learning in your downtime about some honestly really interesting topics, definitely check out Vicky. Don't OnlyFans me, Stormek. We just had an awful clip about OnlyFans. Don't do it. I hope you're having a good day, Stormek. Ozzy, I hope you're having a good day too. And that, yep. Dearie me. I think Kishi's a pies. And not that kind of feet, by the way. No, not that kind of feet. Sewing machine feet. We did red pandas today. Red pandas. Pandas and red pandas are so different. But very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I think when I first saw a red panda for the like absolutely first time, I legitimately didn't realize it was a panda. I was so confused. Yeah, full disclosure. Need to run. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Storming. Look after yourself. We are, by the way, a sewing channel. We are at the moment doing... I'm going to put it in actually full view very quickly because I realise people have just heard me talking about tea, feet and cake and not seeing what we're actually doing. We have been sewing fire around our most recent panel. Oh god, where are we? We're over here. So, you can kind of see the fire starting to build up a little bit now around it. Look at all of that hecking colour. Look at all that hecking colour around our girl lying in the snow. Ain't it cool? Ain't it cool? It looks pretty damn cool. So we just did the one down here, and we're going to start building up to meet the ones around the side. We're going a little careful around the side right now because we're going to be adding a lot of darker shades to blend it into the edge. So we're just adding the really big bold colours right now. Yes. Ah, dear. Oh, I feel like we need to disclose that the kind of feet we mean. Probably? But also, if we're trying to get into wiki feet, the less disclosure is probably the best because we need to weasel our way in and then hit them with sewing machines. So, I give you trouble before leaving, by the way. Shifu from Kung Fu Panda is Red Panda. Wait, Shifu... Which character was Shifu? It's been a really long time since I've seen Kung Fu Panda. And I loved Kung Fu Panda, but it's been a while. Shifu... Wait... Shifu was the person who trained everyone, right? Shifu was a red panda? Really? Yeah, small master with the beard. Yeah, wait. Shifu was a red panda? Really? Actually, though, that kind of... As far as the story goes, I can understand why he'd get so mad. That's really sweet. Oh, this looks so good. Thank you, Moo! I mean, I knew that still, but fair enough. I didn't. I thought he was, like, just an angry possum or something. Hey, lurking because my lurk out. Have a good lurk out, Ozzy. Take care. Like a pissy possum. That's Shifu. Who else with the beard? Yeah, not to confuse with Uguay. Uguay is the one who is incredibly quotable. The incredibly quotable one. Everything he says is a quote that you'd hang on your doorway. That's Uguay. Oh. Shifu is the master dude. Yeah, yeah. Uguay is the one where you hang everything he says on a door. Right, I need to put this in a hoop, but my... Yeah, right now we're gonna try and see if we can get some really good shots of my sewing machine foot so that we can weasel our way into wiki feet. That's the current goal of the stream. If we can get into wiki feet before my stream anniversary, that'd be amazing. I don't even know if wiki feet still exist or if it is just a meme though. So we might be trying to do something that's physically impossible. But, oh, it'd be funny. I think we get banned. But that would also be a achievement in its own right. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. Exactly! It's a really nice sentiment. And I like it a lot. Everything, you could literally take anything he says and sell it. It would sell. Oh. He's too good. He's too good. Right, I need to change my thread colour again. Yeah, we got a new foot on my machine. Turn it off so you can actually see it. But this is our new foot. It is a open hoop foot, so you can stick your finger in it if you want to. So it's an open hoop foot. We've just attached it inside. It's really nice actually. So it's got a lot of nice features. You can bounce it up and down. When you do put it down, it doesn't go the whole way down because the sewing machine bops it up and down as you stitch with it. So it doesn't skip stitches, which is lovely as you're doing free motion. So it's a really nice, like, snazzy one. It's got a little bit of creaking with it, so I wouldn't put it as quite S tier, but give it like an A tier for the price. It's a universal. It's really quite good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And it means that I can do zigzag on the free motion, which is nice. Very nice. I do like it a lot. I'm going to leave it on there for quite a while, I think. I like this one. Where have I put... Why are you on the floor? I remember that one from Heart. I did watch Kung Fu Panda a few times. I know a friend of mine really likes Kung Fu Panda. So I ended up watching it quite a few times. And to be fair, if they were going to like any movie, I'm glad it was that one. Because that's an alright one. That's alright. You know, and it also has heavy emphasis on the food. And I like a film that has heavy emphasis on the food. Another film that I like a lot is Ratatouille. Also has a heavy emphasis on the food. Because I kind of also live my life by the fact that food brings people together. And yeah. So yep, I agree. Good old jelly free foot, we call her. I'm taller than that. Oi oi. I'm 6'5". God, I glitched there, excuse me. I had a proper moment of being like, I'm 5'6". No, 5'6". I got a little confused as I was saying the word. I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6". Does 6'5". I meant you had 3 feet, not your height. Oh, right, I see. Like, excuse me. Like, looking at me like, oi! Oi! I am 5'6". Excuse me. 3 foot, my ass. Oi oi. 6'5". I got really stuck there. I was like, 6'5". Oh, Jelly is 5'6". Yeah, 5'6". Depends on how big your monitor is. Oh god, yeah, I suppose you could like reduce the screen size so that I was like 2 centimeters tall or something, huh? But no. I'm 5'6". Oh dear. She did confirm it. Yeah. Wait, is this a meme? Is 5'6"? Oh no, 5'6" inches. Oh no, 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 no. 5'6" inches. 5'6" inches, not 5.6 inches. That's too short. That's not me. No, no, no. God damn it. Zay! Rude. But yeah, because I read it as 5'6" inches. You putting Jesus in the chat? You're right. We are a Christian stream. Absolutely. Speaking of Christian stream, I'll just quickly die. No. Speaking of Christian stream, God. Didn't know we're getting Easter eggs. Are we a Christian stream? No. Listen, I think if we were a Christian stream, we'd probably get booted out of that as soon as we started trying to get our feet on Wiki Feet. I call the Wicker Man now. I got my Sunday. You get your Sundays. Fair enough. Fair enough. See, I'm only asking because like we. God, I'm having an issue, huh? Like I was fine the entire stream, and then I got really caught out by my height. And now I'm glitching all over the place. No, we didn't order any Easter eggs, but we got some anyway. Because Tesco, or was it Morrison's or Asda? It was a shop. A shop. I don't know which one, so I'm not exactly sure who to blame. But a shop that did our delivery this year. I say blame, but I'm actually quite happy about it. We ordered instead of getting Easter eggs, I kind of actually really like hot cross buns, and I like chocolate. So I just get some chocolate that's on sale. So we got some chocolate that was on sale. I got some hot cross buns, and I was quite happy with just that. Because an Easter egg's fine, but I don't know, I feel like I can get better value for money in a different chocolate, right? So that tends to be what I get. And so that's what I did. And then when they delivered it, they were like, oh, we've had to replace one of the items, and it's the chocolate. And I was like, oh, I was a little disappointed, right? Because I was like, that's the one chocolate that I was gonna have. It was a bit of a shame, but that's okay. And they were like, oh, don't worry though, we have replaced it. And what did they replace it with? Except, like, something that was more than 3 times the price. So I got myself this little box of chocolates, like about yay big, right? And they were nice, but they were small. And they replaced it with, like, an Easter egg kit that cost 15 quid. It was like more than 3 times the price of what I spent on myself. I think mine was 3 quid. So it's, yeah, like 5 times the price nearly. It was. I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know what supermarket did it, but thank you. I now have, it's the set of Lindt egg with 2 Lindt bunnies. What I did to deserve this, I don't know, but thank you. It's very kind of you for replacing the item that cost this much with, like, one of the most expensive Lindt eggs. I will take it. Normally, whenever they replace things in our shopping, it doesn't work that well in our favour. They'll, like, replace tomatoes with, like, an apple, and I'm like, well, you know, they might both be red, but I can't cook with that. But this time, I was like, yes! Oh, it's the best! Oh my god. Very happy. Very, very happy. Traditional here to get it either Saturday or Sunday. That's fair. I think because I'm not a religious person. It's just around this time of year there's a lot more chocolate in the shop, so I'm like... And also I like hot cross buns, so I'm like... Hot cross bun? Don't you have egg paint to do them at home? No, we don't really do, personally in this household, we don't really do anything like that. But, I mean, it sounds fun if that's up your alley. Also, testing! How's it going? How goes the cosplay? Anyone who doesn't know testing is doing a costume that is, I think, it looked really close to finishing last time I saw it. Massive, like, Power Rangers Zord. It looks really close to finish, the last time I saw it anyway. Definitely check that out if you're into big costumes, because that was, at least again, the last time that I saw it, incredibly impressive looking. I hope that it's going well, friend. Oh dear. 5 times the price for you might be, but it didn't cost them much more. Yeah, it might be that it didn't cost them much more, but I can tell you, in happiness, I felt very fulfilled. I was over the moon. I was just like, wow! I guess because I didn't really expect the replacement to be very... I know that sounds very negative, but like, I really didn't expect the replacement to be very good. Because normally the replacements we get from them are a bit weird, or like, not very useful. So I really didn't expect it to be very good. And so when it was like, just so much more chocolate than I could have imagined, I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. Because I haven't had plain chocolate, just chocolate on its own, for months. For months. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. That was part of the reason I only ordered myself something small, right? Because it meant that I could pick them up one at a time rather than going through a whole egg or something. Because I don't really eat chocolate anymore. The only chocolate that I have is really in biscuits or the occasional cake. So I don't really know how I'm going to handle this, but we'll see. It's gonna be fun. I'll be hyper as heck, that's for sure. Oh, Grandma bought candy and mixes her own eggs, and we're giving them painted cardboard eggs that we could confuse. Oh dear. Heck yeah, we can reuse the ones. Nice. I am way too sleepy. The bottom half is almost done. Top half needs work. You've got, to be fair, like a whole month, but it looks so cool what you've done so far. And the chocolate is very nice. It is, and again, like the bunnies are never normally something that I'd get for myself, but it's kind of nice to have them. I don't know, it's just nice. And yeah, Lindt chocolate. We were talking about chocolate yesterday or the day before. We were talking about it the other day, and Lindt chocolate is just something about it. Very nice. Very delicious. I don't know what they do, but they do it good. Right, we're just gonna go up this side now. So I probably will do some shading around the matchsticks, but I'll probably come back for that. Because yeah, they want a little extra shading, I think. We'll come back for it though. We'll come back for it. Free chocolate is always nice. I am a... Oh, I don't know. Wait, that one. The Freya man? That's not one that we see over here, I don't think. Or at least not in the shops that I've looked at. Oh, Freya Classic chocolate is... I'll have to see if I can see that when I go into the shops myself, because online that's not one that I think I've really seen. But maybe that's one I can get if I go into a physical shop, because I know the range is definitely different when you go into shops versus like when you're shopping online. It's a little bit more limited. I'd be interested. You know what? I don't eat chocolate very often, so but trying new things is different, right? So I'm always up for trying something a little different. Also, when it comes to giving gifts, it's nice to give people a gift of like something they've not had before, even if it's not their favourite thing in the world. I don't know. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I'll see if I can try that at some point. Yeah. It's Norwegian, got a cow on it, yellow wrapping paper. No! Oh, I've definitely not seen that then. Like, a yellow wrapped chop... no. I might one day be able to attempt what you're doing here. No way I could ever do it while talking to chat. I don't know how you could do this. What, like talk to chat and sew? Oh, honestly, sewing and talking to chat like this is probably one of the more easy ones, because this is like such a relaxing process. It's just kind of like chilling with your friends and doing like a little like embroidery on the side, because honestly this is such a slow process. It will take you this long regardless. So you might as well be chatting to people as you do it. At least in my opinion, you might as well be chatting to people while you do it, because it's going to take you a while. So having people to chat to, and also means anyone can ask any questions if they want to attempt this themselves, because it you know, I had to buy a couple of things to do this in the first place, but it's nice. It's nice. It definitely makes the whole process a lot more fun too. I'm just going to actually take my thread up and move to the other side of the match, because I can't get there. Off to luck! Have a good luck, Moo. Take care of yourself. Have a nice rest of your day. And enjoy the strange cake. Oh yeah, that's true. I still have my courgette and lemon cake. I think it will be good, especially now that we've talked about like tomato cake and the fact that it's still like... And also mentioning carrot cake. It seems a lot more normal now. Yeah, but thank you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. No, I'd be so focused on not screwing up that I go silent. I can't multitask. I'm such a chatty person. I think that's what it comes down to, is probably the fact that my first instinct is to talk. And going silent is not really... There are some tasks where I'll go silent. I think one of them is like threading the machine. I'll often go silent for, because it's like trying to thread that hole. If I'm having issues doing the bobbin, I'll sometimes go silent, because that does take me a little bit of concentration. But doing the free motion here, it's not so bad. My big issue is getting distracted, because if something comes into my mind that I'm like, whoa, about, I will full on get distracted about it. But everyone here is so used to that at this point that I don't think it takes anyone by too much surprise if I'm getting a little bit distracted. It happens. We all live with it now. We're used to it. To be fair, I don't think I'd try a Toga cosplay myself. Better start simpler. Yeah, I think this one would be a little bit of an intense one to start with. Although, starting just the bottom piece, it'd still be a little complicated, but there are plenty of things you could alter or buy. Like, for instance, let me just, oh no, you can see the bottom part. So like the bottom part down here, the big finger, this bit. So just doing that little bit at the bottom, you could buy the petticoat rather than make it, because bear in mind, we spent a whole week making the petticoat. You wouldn't have to do that. You could buy a petticoat. And there are red petticoats online that are already made. You could do that. You could buy a red petticoat and it'd be fine. I chose to make it because I want to enter competition with this. And also because I like having the option of the direction they poop in. But you could buy a red petticoat, no problem. The skirt over the top, skirts are generally one of the easiest things to make, so that's probably the best place to start if you want to make something from scratch. Start with making Toka's skirt. The shirt you could choose to make or alter, but I would probably recommend if it's your first costume, alter a shirt rather than make it. So find a shirt that's similar and alter it. So maybe take a shirt that's like quite simple, just buttons up with a collar, and then add some details to the collar. Maybe cut it at the sleeves and give it more of a bell sleeve so you can get some practice at making your own pattern, but in a very controlled environment where you're just doing it on the bottom of the sleeve rather than having to make a pattern for the entire piece. It's just on the bottom of the sleeve. So you're getting that practice in, but not for the entire costume. And then you've already got a really big piece of the costume done. You've got the skirt, you've got the petticoat, you've got the top. And then all you've got is the coat, and it's up to you at that point whether you feel confident to try again, altering, whether you want to try pattern making for the entire coat, or you could probably actually buy a coat that's reasonably similar. Coats come in a really wide variety of styles anyway, and then you could always add the trims at the bottom, which again would be altering. So it wouldn't be too difficult, you wouldn't have to make anything that bad. And so you could do the costume, I'd just say maybe doing the doppel on the top would be a little bit much. Well, I never say it's too much if that's really what you want to do, because again, like my first one was really, really intense, but it was what I really wanted to do, right? But if you're just really interested in the character rather than the costume itself, it's not too much. It's not. There were ways you could definitely do it and still learn a lot of skills that would then lead you into your next costume, right? If it is something you end up enjoying, like learning how to sew a skirt is really, really useful. The altering of the shirt will get you learning how to make your own patterns without having to really throw yourself too far into the deep end. And then you get the options of the coat of what you would like to do with it so that you don't have to do too much. And like things with the bows, you could just tie ribbon to make the bows. You don't have to do it like this. But once you get to this step, you have that option if you would like to do it like this, because these are finishing steps really. So once you get to this stage, you could be like, well, I'd like to push myself, so let's do it like this. Or you get to this step and be like, oh, I don't have a lot of time left, let's just tie a ribbon and put it there. And both will look good at the end of the day. But you can always come back to it and change it later and alter it up. Fix it a bit. And as far as the wig goes, if you're wearing it with hair down, you would just need a pretty standard anime wig. Yeah. Jelly get distracted? Never. Never. I would never. Found that a site that sells them in the UK. Oh, really? But a single 250-gram bar is... Well, I do think that is often the case, though, with anything that's not actually from the UK. Sorry. It ends up being a lot more expensive. But you never know, it might become more it might just be starting to be over here and we might get more over time. There's always that chance, and if I know what I'm looking out for, when it does come over here more commonly, I could always get it then. It doesn't have to be straight away. Oh dear. Oh, are we doing a judgment? Hi Ozzy! Is that a judgment that I see? Give me just 2 minutes, Ozzy, because I'm just going to finish doing the outside here, and then I'll be right with you for a judgment. If that is alright. I just would like to, if that's okay, finish a little bit of where this fire is going here. Since we're right at the end of the red. Oh dear. Yeah. one thing cosplay really, like, especially early on, teaches you to do is to be very nifty with easy workarounds for things you don't want to spend a lot of time on, and using materials in an interesting way. You get very good at it. And then once you've done it once, you're like, well, I did it on this costume, so I can probably do it again here. But like, in the best possible way, because it do be pretty handy though. It do be. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just doing like a little zig here. Oh, did I run out of problem? I think maybe. Yes. Oh, sorry, that's a hiccup. Screamy hiccup. I have to go back in and do some more red there, but that's okay. Ah! Yeah, for my so far only cosplay is the coat pattern that kind of fit the style and just shorten it to my liking, rest was store-bought, but hard to get a coat with military braiding for an affordable price. Yeah, I think when I first started doing coats for cosplays, sometimes I would find on eBay like a very similar one in like felt or something like that. I would cut out the basics of it and then maybe rework it in a different fabric or alter it from there. But a lot of the time you would really have to go from the ground up. I'd say go with your confidence level. If you're not confident working with a pattern, because patterns can definitely be intimidating, and if you have to make it yourself, again, it can feel quite intimidating. If you're not confident with it, you know, there are definitely workarounds you can do with altering and stuff like that. There's many different types of coat. But if you've already had a bit of practice, maybe doing the sleeves, doing some collar work, you might feel more confident being like, actually, maybe I can do a coat, huh? Especially if you don't have to alter it too much. But I think that's probably one of the more things that it comes with practice. So the more practice you can do, the better. Because, yeah, altering patterns is a bit of a... I hate using pre-made patterns, truth be told. I really don't use them too often because I hate the sizing. It just doesn't suit me at all. Never made anything but basic skirts before and was glad nobody but me saw the inside. Nobody ever has to see the inside. Freeze! Fries. No, it's wonky converted. Hope that covers shipping too. Fries! What the heck? Were you sparkly before? Do you need to be sparkly now? Let me check on the piece of fabric. Also, you're a long name. I should be able to spot you pretty easy. Where are you? You were not sparkly! I'm gonna have to sparkle up your name. Did you get to see your name, by the way? No, you're gonna be sparkly. Everyone who donates gets sparkly. This was your name, by the way. Oh, that's upside down. I don't think you saw your name. There he is. Surprise. Oh dear. But you'll now be Sparkles. Ah, get some Shocky. Thank you. I won't need it for a minute because I have 2 bunnies to get through, but that's very kind of you. I think you broke Jelly there. I'm like, jeez, stop. But yeah, oh, you've seen it. Okay, okay. Okay, right. We need to do a judgment. Not on Fries, but on Aussie. Wasn't the recliner laying with my son? He gets bored and hops down, brings back his big Mario stuffy to keep me company. Wait, that's so sweet. So I'm just making Aussie sounds, which was ah. Thank you for the horn. That's very kind of you. Thank you, horn. Right, you ready? Oh yeah, pop in the Discord. Also for anyone else who's interested in trying chocolate, you know, outside of your usual range of chocolate. Not everyone is as interested in that sort of thing, but I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting. Right, let me wiggle out. Wait, Aussie. Aussie, wait. When you literally... Aussie. We haven't even had a meeting since you were last judged, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. Have we even been able to sample the food? I don't think we have. Ozzy! 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 Where is Ozzy? Jesus! Ozzy keeps calling these meetings and we haven't even tried the food! Ozzy, get in my office right now. Ozzy, this time, I haven't even asked to speak to you. I don't really see who gave you the authority to think you could call me into a meeting. The chairman of this business. I have to tell you that's not acceptable behavior. You improve the menu? Banana bread, banana cake, banana smoothie, banana tea, banana. Oh, banana cheesecake, banana pudding, banana syrup, bananas, dark chocolate covered banana, white chocolate covered banana, milk. You could have just said chocolate covered banana. Banana frosting with banana cake. Improved menu. So you called me here to tell me you improved the menu. Now, Ozzy, I have to tell you that this meeting is the definition of this could have been an email. And Ozzy, I don't know how I feel about you wasting my time like this, Ozzy. Did you know this business runs on time? Oh dear, I don't do emails. Oh, is this because we took away your computer? Well, too bad. I'm not here for excuses. You might not do emails, but I don't do excuses. Oh, terrible, honestly. We gave you a chance, Ozzy. We gave you a chance. And what did you do? Threw it away. You threw it away, Ozzy. By calling a meeting. When you could have given me an email. No, I will not give you your computer back. You're a chef. Chef doesn't need computer. Absolutely not. Waste of resources. Right. Okay, so you get back to the kitchen. And don't call me unless it's something important. Bananas are not important, by the way. For reference. Well, it's more than the rest of the employees get, by the way. Not that you should know that, and I'm not telling you it either. You don't know that. Get out. Before I tell you something else that you don't know. Get out. Goodbye, Ozzy. Get out. No bananas. Survey says judged. White chocolate ain't chocolate. Oh wait, that's one thing you didn't say. You didn't say ruby chocolate. You didn't say ruby chocolate banana. Oh, that's a judging, that is. No ruby chocolate banana? Oh, that's our favourite. Both me and the chairman's. Bananas are important to monkeys. I guess that's true. I mean, bananas... I can't stand the smell of bananas. Link said, I request you to eat at least a single piece on stream if you please. I swear, if this gets lost in the post, that's going to be the single most kick in the teeth. Give it a while to get here though, bear in mind, because we do at the moment have a... Oh, I didn't refread the bobbin. We have a slow on the post. Be kind to the post. Right. But yeah. Yeah, no. The other thing that I need to eat on stream is Battenberg. But we could do both of those. I'm not going to eat 90 Battenbergs on stream. I'll tell you right now. But I can eat Battenberg. But not 90 of them. Just one. Oh. We have an evolution of monkeys. I'm using the other one, by the way, rather than this one to refread the bobbin because it's my life is easier. Thank you. Dear. Oh, I know I was never gonna get a headset from the UK in November. Still hasn't even left it. Oh, God. Yeah, the thing is, I guess everyone's kind of struggling with the same sort of thing with post. Some things are not so bad or affected too badly. I think especially within countries it's not so bad, but outside of that it's a little rough. But also understandably, I'm not upset about it or anything too much because it's like, you know what, if it gets to me, I'm okay. If it gets to me or I get a refund if it doesn't get to me, then I'm okay with it. Yeah, so both of those. Because I'm like not super upset that the other tea got lost, because if it gets lost, it gets lost. As long as I can get a refund on it, it's okay. Back to lurkout. Good luck with your lurkout! I don't know how much longer we'll be going today anyway, because first of all, I need to get some lunch in me. I do be needing to get some lunch. What time Oh, I've got a little bit more time before I can get some lunch in me. Second of all, I need to prepare for work tomorrow. Whoa! A sentence. A sentence that has not been uttered since December. And it is now April. Oh my god. Can't believe it. Never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. Oh. But yeah. There we are. Oh. It do be exciting though, it do be. It do be. I am genuinely happy. Happy to be going back. Oh. Even if it is just for the 1 day a week for now. Robbie! Heck! Thank you so much for gifting us up to fries. Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god. Heck! Heck! Robbie! Heck! Jeez! You were looking naked? Oh no! Oh no! Don't call people out like that! They're allowed to watch the stream however they like. Oh no! Your words, not mine. Yeah. Oh no 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 no. Get in there. Get in. Go. You're freshly trimmed. Get in. Get in. There we go. Right. Ow. The other thing is, every time I thread the needle, because I'm like pinching it with the finger the needle went in, it hurts. It hurteth. I hurteth my finger. Pain. Pain. Oh dear. It didn't go in that deep, but it hurts enough. Truthfully, it hurts enough. I wouldn't want more pain. I don't want the level of pain that it is, but I wouldn't want more pain, that's for sure. It's enough. Ah. Needle sharp. You know, I was always thinking before, like, is my needle sharp enough? Maybe it's going a little bit blunt, but now that I've been stabbed by it, I think it's sharp enough. I think that it is the correct level of sharpness. There we go. And down to the bottom. I'm just need to fill this bit in a little bit. Because my bobbin ran out before I could fully fill this area in. Which is no good. And then we can go back in with the orange again, and then the yellow again, and then maybe move on to the last flame at the bottom. And I think once we've done that one, then we'll be good. But then also, to be fair, that would be all of the flames done on this area. So that does also seem like a good time to finish it off. Would be when all of the flames are done. Because I probably don't want to move on to the next area, because I've not finished the insides. Yes. Yeah, so I gotta finish the insides before anything else. Oh heck, did I miss a scream? Did I miss a scream or did it just not play? Heck, thank you for the 100 bits, Robbie. That's very kind of you. What are you doing, Robbie? Robbie, stop. 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 Very kind. That's 5 donuts. That's very kind of you, but you should have those donuts. Those are your donuts! Oh dear. Right, let's change to orange. Ugh! I don't get jump scared by the horn too often. Whenever I do, oh, it get me right in my stomach. Stomach horn. I like to share my donuts. What if I like to share my donuts? What then, Robbie? What then? Stalemate. I finally got you. It doesn't happen too often. It used to happen like every single horn. But these days I'm a little bit more immune to the horn. Every now and again. A horn will get me. Oh. Ah, still. It is very loud, to be fair. To be fair to myself. It do be very loud. Wait, Zay, you've definitely got me before, though. That's not the first time. It's not like the first time you've ever got me, right? You've definitely got me before. It's just been a while, I think. Right? I'm assuming it's just been a while. Because I'm more used to the horn than I used to be. Right, let's do the orange now. I took that straight in the middle, but that's okay. Let's just start filling that up around the side. To trim the first one because there you go. It's gonna get sewn under too many times. It's gonna get very messy. There we go. And then we need to go around the red part. Good stretches. I'm trying to sit like very well and like with my back very straight because otherwise I end up like this and what? Can you see that? Can you see this? It yanked my needle out. Oi! Oi now! Take it back. None of that. None of that shenanigans. Take it. It like full on yanked my needle out of the machine as I was sewing. It does it every now and again, to be fair, but normally it's only if I'm going for a very thick piece of fabric. Not like that. That's weird. Oh well. Back in it goes. I'm afraid you don't have a choice. You sew for me. Oh, sorry. Straight back. Straight back. Yes. And go around here. Like this, and just go up into the red, and backwards and forwards a bit. I'm being quite careful not to sew the matches because it definitely kind of wants to, but I don't want to. There we go. And this is looking good. That and there, and go around this matchstick. And fill it in the other side. Probably about here. There we go. Cool. Start filling around. I will say the fact that this foot helps it like grip and means I miss less stitches. It's really nice. The missing the stitches was such a bane before, whereas having less stitches, it means I have no really suddenly very long stitches, which I don't think you can really see from the camera, but I could see them, and they were woof. Not my favourite, it's fair to say. Not my favourite. This is much nicer. They just look a lot neater as well. Let's bring this up as well and get it a little bit more joined in the centre. Okay. So that doesn't look weird when we have all the yellow added. And there we go. And get these pieces filled in a bit. Filled in a bit. That looks pretty good. I think it should be pretty good. Here we go. Okay, let's move my sewing machine and switch to. Do we want to switch to yellow or do we want to do both the yellows at the same time? Because we're probably going to have yellow on the next one too. I think I might do the red on the next one and then come back to the yellow, because that way I don't have to keep switching the threads as often, which I guess should just mean that I save a little bit more time on switching the bobbin constantly. I still have to switch the top thread, but I don't have to switch the bottom thread. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Let's do the flame next to it. And that will be just in here. Oh god. Hopefully. If it will fit on the table. There we go. It should fit in. There we go. Get it in there. Right next door. And let's switch to red. I think this one's going to be quite a small flame actually. It's at a bit of a weird angle. I don't know why I've drawn it like that, but that's okay. There's probably a reason I've drawn it like that. And that's okay. I've done it, so I'll stick to it. There must be a reason. And it's probably that when I unfold it, it will look really good. But when it's all folded up, it looks a bit weird. Right. Let's put this in here. Ooh. Ooh. Nope. I need to cut that shorter. Oh, even shorter. And there we go. And this is oh, okay, right. Let us. I'm gonna start from the top, I think. This one, I'm not very keen on what I've done right at the top here. I think I added an extra peak, which I don't think I really needed. I seem to have filled in the space nicely, so let's pretend that extra peak is not there and create my own that kind of goes between them. More like this. And then, yeah, that's a bit nicer. That's a bit nicer. I prefer that. And make sure that's nice and taut. But have that nice and taut. There we go. And just get some extra pieces coming off the edge. And this is the outside one. There we go. Like, oh, and then I want to cut that off, aren't I? Yeah. Some extra pieces like this. And make sure the top here is really nice. And comes out into there. I will also actually have some pieces coming out into the other flames here too, which are going to be a little subtle because it's going over the top of other threads. So hopefully if I... you can actually see them. Yeah, you can see them. Because it's going over the top of the orange, it's not too subtle. And going all around the edge. There we go. Oh, oh, we have a knot. We have a knot. This happens pretty rarely these days, but it's basically knotted underneath the fabric. And then we have to trim it and rethread it. It's a pain. I hate this one. That's like my least favourite problem to have. I'd much rather it be bunching because then I can kind of catch it really early. But it's okay, it's okay. We got the outline done. Oh, actually though, I might add a few more flames onto the other side. I want it to look really dramatic, and also it's kind of like the two flames are licking each other, and that's cute. That'd be cute. We'll have the two flames licking each other. There we go. So let's go to this side and go in and add some more flames. They just about touch the ones on the other side, so although they don't overlap very much, they look cute. I like them a lot. And I might just go underneath and just do a little bit here, as if it's like It's not quite there, but it's sort of there. There we go. Okay, that's a really cute outline. And then we just need to go back around now and do a few rings of red around the whole thing. Kind of basically what we've done already. We've done the whole outline, so now it's just a job of staying within that outline and filling it out. I might actually do an inside outline. Inside outline, yes. But yeah, you get me, just to make sure I don't go too far so that we've still got space for the orange and the yellow. And I'll trim the original thread. So don't sew that in too many times. Why it's quite relaxing is because once you've got the outlines of the shapes you're doing, the filling in is really not that difficult. Like, it's a little bit loud, at least from my perspective. It's like not the quietest, but it's not really that difficult. It is just like coloring in with a slow biro and going backwards and forwards over the same shapes. And like, if there's some gaps that need filling in, okay, do a little scribble backwards and forwards a bit. And then, okay, there's a bit here. All right, we'll do a bit of backwards and forwards here. And I want to go at the top a bit more. Okay, we'll just do a little bit up there. Okay, and then this bit looks like could be a little filling in. Okay, we'll just fill it in a little bit there. And oh, and that bit there too. Okay, that needs a bit of filling in. Yep. Take it down the bottom a little bit. And take it over here a little bit. Nice, 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 nice. And then, oh, we could really do it going into the center a little bit so that it helps blend it with the orange. Okay, sure. You want to do the other side? Okay. It's really not that difficult. Like, skill-wise, it's more patience and skill. Because it takes a long time to build up, but there's not really too much skill to it. If you can draw the original shapes that you want to sew on, and you understand the limitations, I suppose, it's not too bad. Yeah, I guess understanding the limitations might be take a little bit of time, because unlike a biro where, actually to be fair, if you're good at this, maybe you could do some really complicated shapes with it, but I feel like a biro might lend itself a little bit more. The machine can jump around quite a bit, and it also pulls the fabric up with it, so as far as like really, really neat lines goes, it can be a little bit difficult to do. Even if you're going really slowly because of it getting lifted with the fabric and stuff like that. But hey, there probably are some people that could physically do that. It just might be a little bit random. Like, it'd be difficult to replicate the same thing over and over again. There we go. That's the red done. Nice and easy. And then we just need to do the orange and yellow. Let's do the orange and then we can change the bobbin for the yellow. The reason I'm changing my bobbin specifically for the yellow as well is because sometimes with this, a little bit of the bobbin gets pulled through to the front. Not very much of it, but like a teeny tiny bit of it. And with the orange, you can't really tell if red bobbin gets pulled through. With the yellow, you can. So just to make it so that if any of the bobbin gets pulled through, it doesn't show with the yellow, I'm just changing the bobbin colour. Just in case you were interested. I don't know. It's just, yeah, neatness. Go and pull this bit through. I did have a bit of an issue with that earlier though, to be fair, when I was using the bright red and I was using much darker colours, and I've got a few areas of very bright red showing through. I had it with the snowflakes as well, and I didn't even realise it was there, but there was some like bright red showing through all the snowflakes, which looked interesting. It was a style, that's for sure. Not my favourite style, but a style. Right, let's just go over with the orange now. And I'm going to take out the original thread so that it doesn't get too caught up in anything, because I'm not about it. Don't want it. And start. Let's also do this. I know where I'm going, and do the other side. There we go. Start filling it in. Orange is so small on this one, oh my god. guess because I do want some yellow, so I guess it has to be quite small. I guess it's quick to fill in if it's small, so that's not too bad. And I do have to go over some of the red, so get some nice blendy tones in there. And fill in the other side. And then go into the red so that it looks like it's blended out. Go. Here. Then. I'm just going into the bottom a little bit too because the bottom bit is going to be joining onto another panel. So I want it to look quite nice, neat. It's another panel. It'll look nice. There we go. Space for the yellow in the middle. Heck yeah. And now we can change the bobbin. And go over to the yellow. And then these will be our last two flames for the day. Oh, the days of what I've lost. Oh, the yellow. Hey, look. Would you look at that? That's what I needed. We don't actually have a whole lot of yellow bobbin on here, so I think there's a good chance we'll end up refilling the yellow bobbin. But I'll use what's left on there because, you know, I'm not gonna waste it. But there's not a whole lot left on there. And we get through a lot of it, unfortunately. I do have another 500. No, I have another 800 of yellow, maybe. I have a lot more of yellow. Regardless, I have a lot more of yellow. I don't know exactly how much, but it's a lot. Because I knew that I was going to end up using a lot of it, especially once we started doing the flames and that I'd be adding a lot more stars. That's one thing I think I might do. Around the flames, I might add some stars coming off of them. I'm kind of going backwards and forward on that idea because I don't want it to look too busy, but I just think that would be really cute. This is the I can't stop adding things stage, but I just think some stars coming off the fire would be really cute. Not that it makes any sense, but so they needed a fire, so you know, if it's not going to make sense anyway, it might as well be cute. Right, pull up the bobbin. And then trim off the extra threads from before. And Robbie! At some point you've run out of fabric to add things onto. Yeah, you're right. But that's okay. At that point I'll be done. But it'll also probably look very busy. Very busy and very sad. So I'm going to try not to let it get to that point. That's the fear, is that I'm going to overdo it and it's going to look bad because I've let it go too far, you know? That's not what you want. You don't want to let it get that far. But it's tempting, right? Because if something you're doing is fun, you don't want to stop doing it. There we go. Get rid of that extra thread. And fill in the centre. And back forward. Okay. And then just get it blended out a bit. Oh, are we out of bobbin already? We are out of bobbin already. Oh, that was so quick. No. Okay, we need more yellow there. That's not enough yellow. That's too intense. But we got some down. Oh dear. Oh, unless you saw another huge piece of fabric onto, sew another one onto it. I mean, there are plenty of parts of this costume that do have plain pieces of fabric on them, but I think the nice thing about this is going to be that it's a really intense piece of fabric next to all of those plain pieces. So I am gonna probably really heavily detail this, but I think that it'll look nice next to everything else, right? Because it's so detailed. And because everything else is so plain. And I think that's why it will stand out so much. If everything was really detailed, I don't think it would look nearly as good. So I'm gonna try and be careful and try and be good. And not go too far. Oh, Fire Lord Zuko, hi! How's it going? We're just doing some fire right now. I hope you're having a good day. Oh dear. Right. That's a good bobbin's worth. Get back in the machine, re-thread you, and then let's get the yellow of these fires in. We need some brightness. And then I'm probably going to do some stars around them, you know, because I want them to look a little bit bright. And also because they kind of look like the ashes coming off the fire, right? I ate Fred. Ew. It's okay. I wonder how much thread I've eaten in my lifetime. I wonder if there's a way I could find that out. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe I'll find it in my stomach, like, at some point, and when I'm an older person, and, like, I'll go to the doctors and they'll be like, yeah, so the reason you've been having all these stomach aches is actually because you've got this massive ball of thread in your stomach. And I'll be like, oh. Because I feel like the amount of times I've just looked into my tea and there's thread. I've looked into my food and there's thread. It does just get everywhere. Like, I'm pretty good these days with, like, needles and pins and stuff like that. But thread, it's the bane of my existence. It just gets everywhere. I don't understand, but it do be everywhere. Hope you have a nice day too. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. We've had a pretty productive day. We've done a lot of fire. This is the last. These 2 pieces that we're doing now are the last pieces of fire now that border the first panel, which means that all we kind of want to do for the first panel is, at the moment, I think, add some potential stars to look like ashes, maybe. So at the moment we're doing, for anyone a bit newer as well, we're doing panels from The Little Match Girl, which is a story about a girl who sells matches and ends up lighting them to see her wishes, but then actually dying on the side of the street when she dies of basically the cold. But we are doing like the panels surrounded by fire, which we're free motion embroidering into this, which is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. We're basically free motion embroidering everything, so it has definitely a feel about it, but we are putting some hand embroidery into it too to highlight some details like the hair and stuff like that. It's fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. It definitely gives the story a look, but yeah, this definitely looks intense, but I don't know. I like this a lot more than what we did before. Definitely, for sure. I like fire. We've burned things for a sewing stream. We've used fire a lot on this stream. It's such a sad story. It is. It's like one of those stories that, you know, it having a happy ending wouldn't have felt right though, with the tone of the story. And yeah, it is a sad story, but yeah, it's not a nice one. It's what the cosplay the character is inspired by though. So her whole power is inspired by the Little Match Girl. So yeah, I won't give too much away because I have to put the spoilers on the screen. Thank you for the horn, Zay. But yeah, she's very inspired by the Little Match Girl. And yeah, so we wanted to put more references in. And this felt like an interesting way of adding more references. Especially since it's a story that I don't see very much, which I'm not really surprised about because it's not a very happy story. But it's a nice way of adding more references to a story that I don't see very much of. Yeah. But I did have it in my storybook growing up, so yeah. I like it. Oh dear. Chicken horn. Right, let's see. Get this up into here. Just filling in this part at the edge, which is a little bit more difficult, but that's okay. I will probably actually add some shadow around those matches. I'll do the stars, add the shadow around the matches, and then I think we'll be good. Those matches need some shadow, otherwise they just don't stand out well enough to be truthfully honest. They're a little bit blendy in. Yeah, we will do that. Oh, are you getting stuck? Are you getting a little bit stuck? There we go. Let's find out what happened, shall we? What's happened with you? Can I pull that bit out? Can I have it? No? Okay. There we go. You're gonna be like that. There we go. No reason. There's no reason. I will fight you for it. Oh dear. I would like to add a little bit more yellow as well. It's not quite done. When is the first year anniversary horn? Asking for a friend. Oh god, when did we have our first horn on the stream? I don't know actually. The first horn on stream would have been, I guess, probably about... Well, the Venga horn, as far as the meme of this on the stream, like, it was really early into me streaming. It was within the first month. But we didn't have a horn until maybe a month or so, maybe like 2 months after me starting streaming. So I don't know exactly when the anniversary of the horn is. Because yeah, although the Venga bus was a meme in the first month of me streaming, I don't know when the horn itself joined the stream. If that makes sense. I don't know when the horn joined the stream. Oh dear. Threads. Thread. Right. Let me show you where we're at, and then I'm just gonna quickly do some stars. I do fancy some stars, and then I need to do a little bit of shading around the Oh, okay, right. We need to go on a different screen because you ain't seeing anything. Oh, wrong screen! You're not seeing anything in that one. Just sneaked in, crafty little bastard. Did. Oh, this is panel 1, but it's actually the last panel. Oh, starting soon. We are, yeah, we're just about to start streaming. three hours in. This is now surrounded by fire. Do you like it? Do you like the fire? It's pretty snazzy, huh? So I'll try and get a little bit close in. Maybe actually if I go onto the other face cam, you can see it closer in. Oh god. Yeah, really close in. So you have the girl lying in the snow. This is the very last panel. Lying in the snow after she's done all of her matches. So you got some of the little matches next to her. She's lit all of her matches, and she has passed away in the snow. That's her passed away in the snow with her backed up against a building. And we have the fire surrounding her on all of the panels. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Pretty snazzy. Oh, yeah. It's starting to really come together, at least around the first panel. But it takes a little while. That's why we're not going to meet the deadline, but that's okay. Because I can always enter this into a different competition. Oh, dear. Oh, oh, bless you, Blocker. That's very kind of you. But we want to do a few more stars, I think, just around this area. Just because I really like the stars and how they look. The stars, by the way, are these. There's just something about them. They're really nice. And I think I'd really like to add a few more of them. I think I'd like them around the flames. I think the stars and the flames I'd like to be together a bit more. So, although I definitely want to keep the stars in the sky, I think I really would like the stars to be around the flames a little bit more. So I'm going to put some in the fire. I'm going to put the stars in the fire. I think that's the only logical explanation. Thank you, Zuko. Yeah. So put the stars in the fire. And then, and again, we have just left, by the way, the edge plain for now, because we will be going back into the edge. Probably do the edge all in one go, to be quite honest, because I won't be using the hoops to do the edge, which is a nightmare. I can't really put the hoop around the edge of this. So what we'll be doing is using the walking foot and not doing it 3 motion. Well, we'll be doing it 3 motion, but it's a bit difficult, right? And shading in with some darker colours, so some blacks and some very dark colours. So we can shade into the edge around the entirety of the this lining. That's going to take time, but it will be worth it, I promise. I promise it'll be worth it. It's just going to be horrible. When you meet me during that time, I will be a husk, probably. But it'll be worth it, and I think it'll look really, really cool. So yes. This is more my vision of what I wanted this to look like, and I'm really happy. So let's add some stars, add some shading around the matches. I think you can probably see the matches there, but you can kind of see they kind of blend in with the fire a bit more. I think they need to get something to really pop them out. Yeah. You gotta leave! Have a good time. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna be doing some stars. Ah, dear. Right. God. I think I can put some in here. just above the fire. I don't want them right in the base of the fire, but I think I want them around the tip of the fire. Yeah, I think that's about. My stomach rumbled. My stomach was like, quiche? A quiche? Oh dear. Yeah, I think that's probably a good hoop. Oh man, I love that hoop. Look at that hoop. Look at all the design that got into that hoop. Isn't that cute? I mean, it's a really sad scene, but like, look at all the design that got into that one hoop. That's really cool. I got all the fire at the bottom. We got the girl lying down. That's a really cool hoop. Every time that I do a hoop, I'm like, ooh, what design got into it? That's a really cool hoop. A lot of design got into that hoop. This looks so cool. Like, yeah, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And the fire looks really cute. Right, yeah, sorry, I need to... I'm getting heckin' distracted. I just really like that hoop. I could actually highlight the top of the matchsticks, shadow the bottom of the... Good idea, everyone. Perhaps for you. You got it. That's a really good idea. Let's do that. Because that would honestly make more sense to the scene itself, and it would really identify which scene it comes from. Oh dear. Right. Highlight the top of the... Honestly, you guys give me the best ideas. I swear. I think it is just talking to people. And like, maybe just talking to you guys. Like, you don't even need to reply sometimes, but just talking to you guys gives me the best ideas. I mean, sometimes as well, you guys come up with the best ideas too. But, oh, yeah, this... I do need to go over that one. Maybe highlight it. And then I need to go back up and go down this one. So we get a nice highlight. And then we need to go up the other side. Oh dear. Oh, sorry, that was probably very bright. Apologies. Can I have the thread, please? Tension? There we go. Oi oi. Where's my small? There they are. Small scissors. They're gonna do like a little bit of highlight on the top of the matches, and then shadow on the bottom. So they hit the light. I'm blind. I'm sorry. My hand is my hand, innit? My hand is a danger. I'm sure most people already knew that, but I'm sorry. Oh, right. Let me just go over the top of this. Really outline the top bit. Where it hits the light. And... Oh, da da. Oh, da da da. And... Oh, that looks so good! Zay! Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Blocker. That's very, very kind of you. Heck! Thank you for doing the double horn as well, Robbie. Jesus, Zay, that's very kind of you. How blind I'm that. Robbie, get out. None of that in here. You dad jokes? No, get out. None of that, none of that. Oh, Jesus. Thank you so much, Zay. That's very sweet of you. Jeez. You don't have to do that, but it's very kind. I'm never quite sure how many donuts that is, but it is an amount of donuts. Blocker was naked. God damn it. God damn it. What is the nakedness today? Why are we just calling people naked? No. Let's just go down the rest of this. Go. And... excuse me, dad jokes are the best form of humour. Oi oi oi. Oh no. Listen, guys. Just because you both agree doesn't make it right. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Oh. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. This isn't it. Oh, get over there. What's stuck on you? What's stuck on you? Oh, is it you? There you go. And... okay. Highlight here. There we go. And then... like a little bit over here too. Oh dear. Oh dear. You're allowed to have your own opinion about dad jokes, Jelly. If you... Can I? Oh, I haven't got my things turned on. Otherwise, I would have deleted the comment. For real, I'm for real. How about you? How's it going? Wait, Sam bad. Oh god, I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm so body. I'm so sorry. Sam bad. Cherry? I'm so sorry. I think I'm sorry. I probably messed that one up. I'm so sorry. But for real, how's you going? I hope you're having a good day. Oh, sorry. I'm good. I'm good except for the dad jokes. I'm good. You know what? Normal day. I'm good except for the dad jokes. We're nearly finished this panel, which is very exciting. Wow, censorship, absolutely. 100%. If it's dad jokes. Sneaky dad joke censorship. But then if anyone asks me about it, I'll tell you that it didn't happen. You imagined it, you know. Like a real business owner. Oh shoot, get back in there, I needed the hoop there, no! Get back in! I made his name to Tripsy. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I consider myself thoroughly tripped. I'm tripping over that name all day. Do you have a name that you prefer to be called? Other than your full name? Because I swear to God, if you put your full name in chat and you're like, yes, I prefer to be called. Look at. What? Whomsters changed their name to Sambare Sham Mache Che. Who is it? Jesus Christ. Wait. Could I make a vague guess? I might be wrong though. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, it's okay, right? But if I was to guess... if I was to guess, is it cute as a pup? Only because I know I've seen you change your name a couple times. If it's not cute as a pup, ignore me. But I know I've seen that person change their name a few times. So I wonder. Not that I've ever seen them change their name to this. Yes! Deary me. That being said, I now feel like you're trolling me and it's not actually you, and you said yes to get me to go yes, and then you'll be like, but actually it's this person. I have the constant fear that I'm being trolled. What has 1 year of streaming on Twitch taught me? I am always secretly being trolled by somebody. I just can't see it all the time. You know? That's what streaming on Twitch has taught me. You are always being trolled. You just maybe can't see it yet. Oh yeah, you were also Cuddle Bear. Yeah, you liked Minions. Yeah, that was an interesting time. There was a time. Yeah, and then you changed to cute as a pup. And now you're something. Oh dear. Yeah, I do try to remember people's names. I do sometimes get it wrong though. But well, I'd say most of the time as well though, I also, not only do I sometimes get it wrong, I'll also mispronounce the name, so everything is wrong. But I don't know, a lot of people do have pretty recognizable names on Twitch. So if I see you more than a couple times, I'll probably start to remember it, right? Because everyone has reasonably recognizable names. The things where I get confused, I suppose more, is when we have like 3 or 4 people with very similar names. And then it's like... and then I get confused. Not because they're not necessarily good names, because a lot of the time they're brilliant names. But when they're similar, I'm just like... Or when everybody calls himself a crafty jellyfish, and then I get very confused. Because oi oi, rude. I will remember that. Changing 5 out. I don't know how you keep up. I don't know how you keep up. I don't know how you keep up. I don't know how you manage that. Oh dear, I couldn't do that. I get confused immediately, if truth be told. I'd be like, yep, I don't know who I am. I'm introducing myself as somebody that I'm not again. Good stuff. Love that for me. Right. 2nd star. So we're just adding a few little stars, but not too many, because this isn't a starry sky. This is ash. Go. And trim between them. Go. And this looks pretty cute. This looks pretty cute. Oh, I didn't trim the bobbin. It's my bad. It's my bad. The machine's gonna get angry about that kind of thing. I just want to have a little look at how they look with just this many stars, because yeah, that looks pretty cute. I don't want to add too many. I might leave it there for now, I think, and then maybe go back and add more later. I have the impression of stars, and I like that. I might also add more in other places, but they kind of invade on other people or on other panels right now. I don't want to get in the way of the other panels, so I might have to come back and add them later. That's fine. Let's do the low light on the matches. How have you? I've been lurking here for months. Oh, thank you for the lurks, by the way. And I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good. We're about to come up to 1 year of streaming, which is mental. It's gone very, very fast, and I didn't realise it had gone quite so fast. But that's really fun. I'm really happy about that. The costume is coming along really well. It's a slow costume, but then, you know, when we decided to do a bigger costume on stream, I knew that it was going to be slower. So I'm having a really good time with it. It's been really fun. Yeah, things are chill. My productivity is through the roof compared to where it used to be before I started streaming. And I get to chat with people, which is kind of the 2 things I wanted from streaming, was that I can chat with people and that I am a more productive person, but like productive in a way that doesn't make me sick, which was quite important, because yeah, I unfortunately was kind of in a position where I was just consistently making myself sick whenever I was actually productive. So this is a very nice balance. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. It means I can sew and not be ill, because I'm not doing it randomly for like 12-hour stints every now and again. I'm consistently doing it at a pace that makes me not sick. It's good. Oh dear. I have no self-control basically. But yeah, it's good. It's really good. And yeah, because before, I think, just to make, I guess, to be very clear, I was like this before the pandemic. This is not because of the pandemic, it just happened that I started to stream at the beginning of the pandemic. But yeah, because I was stuck in the house all the time, I didn't have really anyone to talk to. It's been really nice that I've been able to chat with people more. Yeah, I've been really enjoying that. Chatting and sewing and feeling productive. And comparatively to when I first started streaming, at least, I do feel like I know my limits of streaming a lot better. So that's also been really good. Oh! Atomic! Heck! 8 months! Oh my god! Jeez! Oh my god, heck and all these long numbers. Thank you so much for the 8 months. Thank you for the double horn. Also, how long will I be streaming? We're actually just wrapping up. We've got a couple more things to do. Also, hi Smurf. We've got a couple more things to do, but then I can show you some work on the panel, which I think looks really good. Really, really good. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks really cool. I hope that people like it because, yeah, I think it looks proper nice. I'm very proud of this. Not that I wasn't proud of it before, but like, you know, I think just showing something that's like very finished, yeah, I'm very proud of this. Okay. Around here, some shading in here. And just do the same thing here. There we go. Some shading underneath. Sorry, I got a bit lost there because I think I went a bit far with one of the stitches and it looked a little bit odd. Heck! Atomic, how's it going? God, no, business! I hope you're having a good day, Atomic. Again, thank you so much for the... Jesus, 8 months. It's a long time. I hope you're having a good day. Jeez. Wrapping up a sewing stream. Yes, we're wrapping it up. Oh, you slept through it all! Oh god! At least though I can show you the end result. So you get the exhibit at the end, which is, you know, you maybe don't see the process, but you get the end bit, which is the more exciting bit, right? So you get that, Smurf. You get that. I hope you had good sleep as well. It's important to get good Z's. Otherwise, how are you going to be a productive bean? And while I was a productive bean, I get to show you what I did, which is good. Look at us. We both did the good thing. We both did the good thing. Right, let's get this nice and shaded on one side. Let's get a little bit around here. And yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay. Oh yeah, I do need to trim the threads though, because I did leave quite a few threads on this piece. Did I hiccup? Ah! Alright, I am a loyal business employee. Yes. How dare you get a good night's sleep, Smurf? No! Get a good night's sleep, Smurf. It's very important. Very, very important. I'm just going to trim the back threads as well so they don't get caught up later. Are we contractors to get around tax issues? No, we are a business. We just, we don't talk about tax. Yeah, we had the matchsticks being a little bit more sticky outy now. Sticky outy. Right. I don't know what's going to be the best to show you this in, to be honest. Because it's still on a really awkward curve. We picked an area that was very difficult to display. I'll be truthfully honest. It's very difficult to show you what we've done half the time. But if I maybe... Oh, I know what I could potentially do. I could just move... Oh, no, actually. Oh. Can you see it? Can you see what we did? Can you see it? Oh my god. Look at that. An angle. That kind of works. Oh my god. We found it. So we have the fire up this side. And then there's more fire up this side. Yay! There's more fire at the top, but you'll just have to know that it's there. It's just know in your hearts that it is there. Ah, dear. Good morning sleep in this case. Yeah, good morning sleep is fine. As long as you get some sleep. This business seems sketchy. I tried to quit, the manager yelled at me and now I'm chained to my desk. Looking fancy. Yeah, so what's happened now is the entirety of this panel is outlined. The only bit that isn't is the bit up this side, because that then goes into the panel next door. But where it is up this side, all outlined, is because there is no panel straight onto that side. So it's outlined where it can be, basically. And yeah, we have all the stuff on the inside of the fire, and that's what we're going to do with all of the panels now. There's just going to be fire around them, so it kind of means that we can get the scene on the inside of the fire. Heck yeah! Heck yeah! You gotta change your desk. You could be locked up in the basement. Oh, just making recipes over and over again. I wonder, can I? Yeah, I can. Let's turn it up a little bit. You have like the little fire at the top of the building. This colour doesn't really show up super well, but that's the other side of the panel there. We will have fire coming out of that, but it's just because there's another panel right next door. So for now, it is just the side of the building. Yeah. Yes. Stuff has happened. And it looks really cool. I love it a lot. It's so nice to see, I don't know, the vision. This is my vision. My vision is fire. My vision is lots of fire, but I'm very happy with it. It's very bright as well, but I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, look at all this. Look at all this. You have her lying down, all the snow, all the detail. It's very cool. Very cool. Oh dear. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It definitely pops a lot more as well. And I feel like it looks a lot more coherent than the snowflakes did. The snowflakes are not cute. Comparatively to this is much cooler. But yeah, this is how it's gonna be. Lots of fire. Oh dear, of course it would be lots of fire. Of course it would be. But I'm happy with it. And there's gonna be so much fire. It's about the little fire girl rather than the little matchstick girl, but that's okay. You know what? It's our interpretation of the story. There's a lot more fire in our interpretation. Vision's fire, you say? Yes! Thank you, Red! That's very kind of you. Oh, heck. Right. We need to find a bean! We gotta find a bean! Let's find one. Let's find one. First of all, what's going on over here? Oh, dear. Ooh! Ooh! What's going on over here? Right. So I'm just having a little look because I've recently found that there is some other stuff happening over the side of my screen. But that's okay. That's okay. Right. Let's have a look-see at what is going on elsewhere in fact the crafty universe. Let's have a look-see. Or just the cool universe. Who knows? Who knows? Could be either. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot going on. Jesus Christ, it's always so much going on a Friday. Heck, it's always difficult. Oh, I zoomed in. I love that. I love that. When you're doing stuff and then your camera's like, whee! Oh, you know what? Let's raid somebody very high energy. Let's do that. That's always a good one. I think raiding the high energy beans on a Friday, that might be a good one to do. We'll do a raid on a high energy bean, and they are a sweet bean. And what they're doing today, oh god, are they cutting fur? Okay. We're gonna be raiding Otterly because first of all, they're a very high energy bean. Second of all, send them some love because they're cutting fur. And cutting fur is literally one of the most horrible things you can do. It's like cutting. Oh, what you saying? That's what I'm doing. It's basically like cutting something that you know is going to destroy your house for a good long time. and it's like cutting pain. And the pain stays with you. And that's who we're going to be raiding. So send them a lot of love because they deserve a lot of love. Oh, you need to leave? Oh, thank you so much, Atomic. Take care of yourself. Look after yourself and have a lovely weekend. And thank you for popping by. It's very, very kind of you. And have a great week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes. Thank you, Robbie. And Zay, thank you for putting the raid calls in chat. I appreciate it. Anyone feel free to go a raid call if you'd like to send some love that way. Yeah, basically, from the looks of it, Otterly is putting some patterns down to cut out some fur. Cutting fur it's awful. The times that I have cut fur on stream, it's literally like even if you're doing it exactly like the way you should be, you cut it and then immediately you start finding elsewhere, like in a pot downstairs in the kitchen or in the bathroom on one of your towels. Fur. It's horrible. Like, in your mouth, fur. Like, how did it get there? So yeah, send them lots of love. They deserve it. Oh, bless you, Smurf, and bless you, Ozzy. But yeah, take care, have a lovely weekend, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all on Monday. See you all soon. Let's send lots of love. Bye, everyone.